weeks ago when Florida State's marvelous rally brought them into a 31-31 tie with their arch rivals from Gainesville, the University of Florida. And now, this wildly entertaining college football season comes down to some unfinished business at the USF&G Sugar Bowl. ABC Sports welcomes you to the final game of this season, Florida State against Florida. Well, good evening and welcome everybody with Dick Vermeil. I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us here tonight. First of all, Dick, Tom Osborne at Nebraska, Joe Paterno at Penn State. Congratulations to both of them.
You bet. Two class people, outstanding coaches, coaching undefeated football teams. They are what college football is all about.
We'll let the voters take care of the rest. You settle back now for what could be the most entertaining bowl game of them all. How about the two quarterbacks here, Danny Wuerffel and Danny Kanell?
Well, Danny Wuerffel took over halfway through the season. He's undefeated ever since. Danny Kanell set the record in the major comeback here against the same football team. Outstanding players.
All right, one game to go. Unfinished business in New Orleans. Florida State and Florida back with the kickoff.
Something is happening in homes across America. Primestar, the new mini-dish satellite service, is making hours of family entertainment available to anyone, all with digital quality audio and video. Even better, Primestar is a complete service. There's no equipment to buy or maintain. And all of it, including programming, can be yours starting at about $1 a day. All you have to do is call 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
This is safeguard season. This is a season for germs.
I think every locker room's got three things in common: sweaty guys, germs, and some serious body odor.
Safeguard antibacterial soap eliminates more germs that cause body odor than regular soap and helps keep germs from coming back.
Hey, no one should smell like a locker room. Not my team, my sons, or me. And with Safeguard, we don't.
Safeguard against germs.
Tylenol has been my pain reliever for as long as I can remember. I counted on it when I was working and when I became a mom. But since I started competing in triathlons, I get aches and pains in places I never knew I had. So now I use Tylenol even more. It's my doctor's recommendation for safe, effective pain relief. She really believes in it. I count on Tylenol. I trust it.
Tylenol, the pain reliever doctors recommend and hospitals use most.
Look, a MasterCard won't make you different or unique, okay? Actually, maybe it will. I mean, millions of people use MasterCard, but yours is meant for you and you alone. So if someone steals it, instead of worrying about people running around pretending to be you, call right away and cancel it. Because, after all, there's only one you. What's more, even if somebody does manage to charge stuff to you, you won't pay a cent. And we may even be able to get you a new card the next day. But just for you. Now, how's that for a useful card?
We will handle those duties here tonight. Jack Jackson's on the left-hand side, and over on the right is Rydell Anthony, who was one of the stars of the victory over Alabama in the SEC championship game in Atlanta. We are ready now, and it'll be Bentley. The final game of the season is underway. Jackson will let it go into the end zone, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line where Danny Wuerffel, who took over and replaced Terry Dean as the quarterback for Steve Spurrier, with 40 career touchdown passes, will be at the helm here tonight for the Gators. Johnny Church will go both ways. He'll start at tight end, and we'll see him on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive line will have its hands full tonight. Anthea Ingracia, one of the underrated members of this Gator front, number 51. And now Wuerffel and Florida. And remember one thing about Steve Spurrier. He doesn't take long to try to get the ball down the field. Fred Taylor and Chris Bilkey are the running backs. Bilkey the fullback off a fake. Here's Jackson. 25. Jackson out near the 30-yard line. And we take a quick look now at the Seminoles defense. The front seven loaded with stars, perhaps none bigger. Number 10, Derek Brooks. And in the secondary, well, since the days of Deion Sanders, they've always had a quality cornerback at Tallahassee. This year, the All-American is number 2, Clifton Abraham. Look for the Gators to attempt to keep the ball away from him. Now on second and short. This can be a favored passing down of Steve's, but let's see if he elects to keep it on the ground. He does with Taylor for the first down. And the freshman from Belle Glade is finally brought down at the 30 by Brooks.
You know, it'll help Steve Spurrier offensively, I think, to think a little bit more about first down in those short yardage situations. As you said, Brent, he scores quickly, but that puts a lot of pressure on the defense against a very good offensive team in Florida State.
Dick, backing up what you said, do you realize that Florida made 389 yards against the Seminoles in that first game?
Yes.
But half of their yardage came on only six plays in that game?
I know that. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, is very concerned about it.
First and 10. Protection, right sideline. Jackson was cut off. Corey Fuller was all over him. Corey Fuller had him swallowed on the sideline, and the wily one, Bobby Bowden, over across the way, the longtime mitter. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go into a bowl game, the one man you don't want to be trading expertise with is Coach Bobby Bowden. His record in bowl games is phenomenal. There he is.
13 wins, 3 losses, the leading percentage bowl game coach in the country.
Second down and 10. 4 wide receivers for Wuerffel. As time throws in underneath to the 36-yard line. So this will be about 3rd and 5. Aubrey Hill was the receiver, number 82.
Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, told me in the last ball game they gave up chunks of yards, and you can see by this play right here that they're going to try to clamp down on those short patterns and don't let them run very much after they catch the ball. He calls that snugging up the front.
It's officially 3rd and 4 for Wuerffel. Now the 3 wide receiver package to the left side of the screen. Wuerffel comes back to the right as they slide Taylor out underneath against the strength of the receivers, and it's a first down. Good play call for the Gators.
And they don't make many bad play calls. Spurrier calls it himself. He runs his own offense, puts the game plans together. He's bringing it back out of the backfield, actually hoping for man-to-man to get the back on the linebacker to the left side of your screen. Step, slide. He goes up, gives him a little stick. He gets outside him right there. He's on Todd Riebel right there for the first down.
The ball just outside the Seminoles' 46-yard line here on 1st and 10. Opening possession. No surprise. Gators on the move. Here's the handoff to Taylor, and Taylor slams into the middle to the 40-yard line. Now, there is one very unfortunate story involving the Florida Gators. We want to go down to Jack Arute to fill us in on it. Jack?
Right on New Year's Eve, both teams went out for a pregame meal. The team Florida Gators, they had a little altercation in their meal between Darren Hambrick and also Anthony Riggins. They came to blows. There was a fight on the ground, and a glass was smashed up against Riggins' face. He required hospitalization. But more importantly, both players were immediately sent home. Riggins, unfortunately, is expected to be released from the hospital tomorrow here in New Orleans, but Hambrick has already gone home, and unfortunately, that has cast a pall across this game.
Jack, thank you very much. There was a penalty flag thrown on that play that developed for the Gators on 2nd and 5. And Dick, I just want to cover the football here. Let's get this penalty first. Steve Spurrier is over across the way. I just want to follow up on Jack's story. I only want to ask you, will the 2 young men be missed?
Hambrick will really be missed. He was a fine backup player and actually playing more than the starter. A quality football player.
All right, so that is the situation as we know it. Steve Spurrier indicating that neither player will be with the Gators again. Of course, we'll wait and see how everything develops and unfolds. And now we get back to the ball game after the penalty. The ball is brought back to midfield. They need to reach the 35-yard line for a first down. The Gators do, hurt by the penalty. Brooks shows blitz, and he's coming. He's picked up, but that opens the way, and Wuerffel turns back and fires complete to number 15, Rydell Anthony.
That shows you what great presence of mind that Wuerffel has under pressure. He always knows where his receivers are. And this is what Coach Spurrier always comments about when you talk about this young guy. He is totally aware of what's happening, under pressure, gets out of it. Todd Reble, 48, flushes him, doesn't panic. He knows where he's going to throw the football. First down again. Oh, no, excuse me, third down at 10.
The ball at the 45-yard line, and again, they need to get to the 35-yard line. They're brought back by the penalty. You can see how they spread out the formations, a lot of wide receivers.
They're mixing up that coverage package. Now they have 3 down linemen, so they'll cover with 8. Wow!
Smashed at the 48-yard line.
58. Peter Boulware came around that corner, Brent. He beat Anthony Ingrassia around wide to the outside. Now, believe it or not, they're only rushing 3 people. Here he is here, coming around here, rushing 3 people, and they don't pick up the wide outside rush. Anthony Ingrassia set too short inside. He's got to widen his stretch. See that? He could not reach him. Sack time.
Shane Edge, who broke his own Sugar Bowl punting record last year in their victory over West Virginia. And a beautiful high punt, bounding on the 6-yard line and out of bounds. Shane Edge showing you why he is the finest punter in the Southeastern Conference this year. What a job that young man does. Back now with Florida State's first possession. USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl is brought to you by Hidden Valley Ranch flavor Wavy Lays. Bet you can't eat just one. Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Pizza Hut. You'll love the stuff we're made of. And Bud Bowl 7 this year. It's going to be a whole new ball game. For Florida State, their drive will start at their own 7-yard line. Danny Cannell, who was the hero of their great comeback in the 4th quarter in Tallahassee, will operate from the shotgun. This is the formation they discovered when they trailed 31-3. Charlie Ward made it famous last year. Fake it inside and give it to the running back, and Dunn is able to break out beyond the 15-yard line. For a moment, I thought Cannell was going to take it back, and here is Danny. You can see what he did. It's interesting that even though it was a remarkable comeback, he threw only 1 touchdown pass. Warwick Dunn, it's his leading ball carrier, and we have seen Warwick in action already. Great soft hands coming out of the backfield. There's a question about the offensive line, but not Patrick McNeil. He is the right guard, and he probably will hold up now. 2nd and 1, and they will show the I formation, and they will run Dunn, and he slams to the 22-yard line, and a first down for Florida State. A look now at the defense. There is Lawrence Wright, their strong safety, who had that brilliant interception and returned it for a touchdown against West Virginia. The big fellas up front, of course, Kevin Carter is there, and Ellis Johnson, 57 and 61. Folks, they're as dangerous as any defensive lineman in college football. Fun to watch tonight if you get time. Zach Crockett, he's the other running back. Here he comes again. They slip it to Dunn. Dick, I've got to go in on that play. That is the play that helped destroy Florida in the 4th quarter. I'm sort of surprised that they gave him that much running room.
Well, Bob Pruitt says they don't plan to do that on a consistent basis. You can see why they can't. It's just too much of a cushion, and it's a very high percentage throw. You'll be able to see them make an adjustment in reading that back, playing them inside outside with those 2 backers on that side very soon in this series.
So with the ball out at the Seminoles 33-yard line, Cannell brimming with confidence. 1st and 10, audibling up at the line of scrimmage, changing the play. He has 3 wideouts in the game, and they're using Dunn, and Dunn is running wild to the 49-yard line, and another Seminole first down.
Really a nice block by Lewis Tyre, number 66, the offensive left guard, an all ACC guard. He really came off the ball nicely right here. Gets really a good pin block. Fullback blocks in there. Zach Crockett makes the crack possible there for Dunn to slip through.
16-yard gain, Coach. 3 carries for 32 yards for the quiet young man from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Danny Cannell is going to go deep right side. He's got a man. at the 10-yard line. E.G. Green, the freshman from Fort Walton Beach.
He has 6 points. If he goes ahead and airs that one out, Brent, they blow in coverage right by Lawrence Wright. We've seen Lawrence make a mistake before back there. It's hard to blame any one person from all the way up here, but the safety should be there, and he is not there. He's recovering to try to make the play. The ball was just not long enough to put it in the end zone.
That is a 41-yard pass play. And from the shotgun at the 10-yard line with 1st and goal, Tiger McMillan checks in. They can flare him. They'll throw to Dunn. Both are excellent receivers. And Dunn battles his way to the 5-yard line, and Ben Hanks makes the stop.
See, now that time they came up with a linebacker outside and bracketing, pushed him back inside, and that's how Dexter Daniels made that play. Well, it's easier also to do that down in the red zone because you're not defensing as much field. Florida State has been very efficient in that red zone, score 85% of the time, and the big thing is most of them are touchdowns.
Again, both backs flare.
Oh.
And he throws this one to a wide receiver over there. Kes McCorvey, his favorite target. The defender had slipped on the ball.
The two-way player, Johnny Church, number 40, got right into Cannell and forced the high throw. He came right up underneath the chin. This ball is high and to the outside. He can't quite get to it. And this young man can leap, and he has very, very sure hands. The number 2 all-time receiver in the history of Florida State.
Dick, it's an interesting formation, and if they do the same thing, and they do not, but they have Tiger McMillan set up in a slot on the left side and Dunn on the right. Dunn
nice
to the
tackle.
4-yard line with a good stop. 4th down, and Bobby Bowden must decide.
Very good tackle by James Bates, the inside linebacker. That's not easy to do down there against the quality of a Warwick Dunn, Brent. You know, you've got to get up there like we saw Saturday when they were tackling Saunders. You know, you got to get up there and close that gap and make that tackle, and he did a good job.
So here comes the field goal unit onto the field. Danny Mowry, who regained the job back in October. Cannell is his holder. And it'll be from the left hash mark, a 21-yard attempt here on the Seminoles' opening drive. Mowry bangs it up, and it's good. The Seminoles score first. But Coach Bowden a little bit disappointed because he had a 1st down at the Gators' 10-yard line. Steve Spurrier now will talk it over with Wuerffel.
Introducing Ford Contour. Gold, a world car for the 21st century. Example, elevating safety.
Defensive series, right end Derek Alexander got normally what you would think would be a turf elbow, but he got it on his head. He lost his helmet when he was diving for the play. He rubbed up against the artificial turf, and it split his forehead open. They've taken him back to the locker room. They're going to put stitches in, expect him to come back and play. You know, one thing to remember, the Florida State Seminoles have only played on artificial turf 1 time this year.
Derek Alexander will be missed tremendously in that defensive front, Coach.
They do have pretty good depth at that defensive front, but I'm sure he'll be back in there soon.
1st down using Anthony, number 15, as the motion man to the short side. They're going to bring him around on an end around. They had him turned, and now he's going to throw. He's got Jackson. Can he get it to him? He's got it. Jackson to the 21-yard line, and Steve Spurrier reaches into the bag of tricks one more time.
You know, the other thing about Steve Spurrier and that bag of tricks, he works on them, and then he uses them, and he calls them in the ideal situation. Man in motion, I formation. This is really their run formation, so they run the reverse off their best run formation, and here he goes winging it downfield. Riddell Anthony throwing a completed pass, a big play. Boy, does he have the full bag. Oh, God.
Clifton Abraham, number 2, bringing him down as Elijah Williams is into that backfield with Dwayne Mobley, the fullback, in front of him. Here comes Williams inside the 20-yard line. Hamlet is there defensively along with Darrell Bush.
Darrell Bush is a very good young inside linebacker, Brent. He's played well all year and has had 77 tackles coming in. He had a medical red shirt last year and didn't play with a knee injury, but he's also the #1 student in his class on the football team.
Donnie Young, who's been bothered by injuries lately.
Well, you know, and the other backup guard, Dede Golden, was left home. He could not make the trip, so they'll probably play Reggie Green, a backup tackle, in at right guard. They're banged up, too, at that offensive line position.
And Reggie is indeed there, Coach. He'll settle in at that right guard spot. 2nd and 6. Using Mobley as a motion man, and flaring Williams, who's got the ball, and slammed at the 16-yard line by Fuller.
See, there's the advantage of the college rule. The ball caught in the backfield, the wide receiver can block a man downfield, and that's exactly what they were doing there. That's better than a running play.
Dick, Derek Alexander has returned from the Florida State locker room and is on the field right now. So number 90 is a big member of that defensive front. You have to wonder about that 52-yard gain that they were able to pull out. This is 3rd and 3. Remember, Alexander was not there when the Gators hit him with that big pass. And now on a quarterback keeper, Wuerffel to the 6-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal.
See, they took wide charges, especially with the defensive right tackle, Brent. They jumped outside here, and they jumped here, and he just steps back and takes up right up that zone. There he goes outside. Look at that hole. Beautiful execution. Suckered him into that play. They don't run Wuerffel very often.
But they made the quarterback pay for it. Take a look, folks. This is why a lot of coaches don't like to expose their quarterbacks, especially to the middle of the field. And Bush was there again. Wuerffel had to feel that just a touch, didn't he?
No question.
1st down and goal now from the Knowles 6-yard line. Williams is not going to make it. He gets to the 4-yard line. And we get the report that Alexander received 3 stitches above the forehead. Todd Riebel is the player who made that sharp tackle on Williams from behind.
These Gators are so efficient. Everything they do offensively is usually best in the country, but 75% of the time they get in the red zone, they score a touchdown. That's a very, very high percentage, 90% of the time overall. But they like to put the big 6-pointer on there.
Williams, the lone running back.
They're not lined up properly yet. Defensively, Brent. Oh, they made the adjustment.
No backs. Wuerffel hit on the release, and it is incomplete. And now Steve Spurrier will have to think again about leaving Wuerffel without any protection as Riebel roared in.
Riebel is an outstanding linebacker. He's had a good year, and he's a good blitzer. He'll get in there and put pressure on him. But see, it's easy to sack the quarterback when no one picks you up. Evidently, they didn't have enough people to protect. They're sliding the protection away. They don't see him coming. The quarterback's looking the other way. That's smart. That's 2 good hits he's taken right down here in the red zone.
3rd and goal, so they'll back Wuerffel up into a shotgun, giving him a little more time. They'll let him have 5 receivers. Jackson's off to his right. Wuerffel going to run it in that direction. Wuerffel not going to make it. Didn't have a chance. Brooks and friends were all over him that time.
I think they'll second-guess themselves on that call. Look at him. He doesn't like that call. Going toward Derek Brooks, trying to outsmart an All-American linebacker who is also an outstanding student. $18,000 postgraduate scholarship granted to this young man. Tough to sucker him.
Now Judd Davis comes on to the field.
There's Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator. He's got to be pleased with that red zone defensive series.
Shane Edge, his holder, so the 2 good friends are able to combine for the tying points here in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl.
It starts out 0-0, it goes 3-3. It's probably going to go 6-6, right on down.
All night long.
This football flashback brought to you by Wavy Lay's Bet You Can't Eat Just One. Bet You Can't name the Florida State Seminole who picked off a pass in the end zone on the last play of the '89 Sugar Bowl to preserve a win over Auburn. The answer is right around the corner.
A week of scout camp. How hard could it be? Yeah.
I'm your new troop leader. We're going to chop wood and dig a ditch from here to there. Any questions?
Bet you can't eat just one.
Kid, I once went an entire week without breathing.
New Wavy Lay's Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. Bet you can't eat just one.
Keeper!
Hidden Valley's a special ranch. Wavy Lay's are special potato chips.
Did you guess the Florida State Seminole who picked off a pass in the end zone on the last play of the '89 Sugar Bowl? It was none other than the 49ers' Deion Sanders. That's our Wavy Lay's football flashback.
Monday, the day we get the world out of bed with a wake-up call of traffic horns, school bells, and factory whistles. And one truck is perfect for a busy day like today. Ford F-Series, with the most powerful diesel pickup engine ever, the convenience of a convertible console seat, and the safety of a standard airbag. More reasons why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck 17 years running. And that's a lot of Mondays.
Florida State and Florida tied 3-3, or should we say 34-34. 3:57 to go in the fifth quarter or the first quarter.
I think it's 34-34. I think you're 100% correct.
Folks, there's a very dangerous return man. He's number 15, back there on the right-hand side. I want to tell you a little bit about him. This fellow's a track star, trying to learn how to become a football player. He's a wide receiver. And if he gets a crease, I'm not sure Shane Edge and the Gators will want to put the ball in his hands. They're very well aware of Riley's speed standing back there. Let's see what they elect to do here tonight. Yeah, they're going to keep it away from him, all right. Omar Ellison, the wide receiver, is stacked up short of the 20. Let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Thanks, Brent. It's Bull Day 95 presented by Wavy Lays. Todd, after the game, we heard Joe Paterno say, I'm number one. What do you think?
I'll tell you, John, it's really hard to argue with either Penn State or Nebraska's claim to the national title. The one knock on Penn State this year has been their defense. I thought it was a much more impressive performance by the Lions today.
That it was. And Brent and Dick, keep in mind, this is from a guy who won a national championship right where you are now in the Sugar Bowl. Also won the MVP, so maybe that's why he thinks Penn State's number one. He did it with the Lions. Back to you.
Absolutely, John. He had a wonderful career with Joe Paterno.
Doing a great job as an analyst, too, Brent.
I think both he and John were fun to listen to today. As bowl game unfolded here on ABC. Rock Preston has now checked into the backfield for Danny Cannell and the Knowles. Underneath, complete to the 26-yard line. And Omar Ellison from Griffin, Georgia, senior wide receiver.
You know, in the first ball game a few weeks back, they didn't really use the shotgun formation until late in the third quarter, then on through the fourth quarter. They just didn't want to complicate it for the young quarterback. Obviously, they now believe after that performance in the fourth quarter that he's ready for everything.
Danny Cannell moves up behind center. Now they'll toss it. Is hit. Slips a tackle, trying to battle his way back and could not. Dexter Daniels and then Kevin Carter.
Boy, it takes two people to block this guy when he really decides to go. Kevin Carter, the class defensive end in college football, coming from the right side over here. Here he comes. He has great quickness and speed. He whips a guy. Look at that. Outstanding technique. He butts him, disengages, and then allows somebody else to come and make the play. He didn't make the play. He just destroyed the play.
Now 3rd and 6 against that Gator defense, and Kevin Carter. Cannell in the shotgun. Not much time. He slammed at the 11-yard line. Carter again, and he brings it on.
And his buddy Mark Campbell was there, too. You don't hear much about Mark Campbell, but he's a very, very consistent, hard-playing young defensive lineman. Just a junior out of Sunset High School, but they sandwich him. Wham, wham. That hurts a little bit. And Carter is excited because he knows the next game he's going to play is on a Sunday.
Florida State with Sean Liss handling the punting, back from an injury. Hits it at the 5-yard line, and Palmer is sent back to the 31. Bobbles it, got it on the handle, left sideline, and he's out of bounds.
You know, the coaches weren't really excited about Sean Liss doing the punting because he gets it off a little bit slower than Dan Mowry, but the head coach overruled.
They'd be more excited when they hear that his first punt, 54 yards.
Okay, we admit the new digital High Note Ultra is not the first computer with a full-sized keyboard, full-size screen, or a 486 75 megahertz processor. But it is the first one with all that ever to fit in this. The new digital High Note Ultra, about 4 pounds light and 1 inch thin. Once again, proving the maxim that good things come in small.
You've got to be strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
The city that never sleeps. New Year's Eve. Folks, what a crowd. When Jack Arute and Dick Vermeil took to the streets, everybody wanted an autograph.
You know, it's a good thing you weren't born in New Orleans and born in Montana. You'd never be where you are right now, I'll tell you that.
I'd own the biggest pub on Bourbon Street, kid, I'll tell you that. You come visit me, okay, y'all?
First and 10 now for Wuerffel and the Gators. We're tied at 3. Fred Taylor in at running back. Bilkey is the fullback set in front of him. Fake Taylor, Wuerffel with time. Fires complete to Jackson. Jackson had the first down. That's Fuller working on number 1.
Very efficient first down passing. See, if you throw the ball on first down, you eliminate some of those possible run blitzes. If you don't, of course, if you're not successful, you might get the blitz on second down, but that really keeps that defense off balance. Coach Spurrier said he was going to mix up his offensive packages, and he sure is doing it.
First and 10 for the Gators. The ball is at the Seminoles' 48-yard line. Now a change at the line by Wuerffel. Snaps it off to Taylor, and Taylor is down at the 45. A sharp tackle by James Roberson after the completion.
It's obvious to me in watching Mickey Andrews' defense, the Florida State defense, play this time, Brent, that they really are emphasizing, you know, crowding the receivers that come out of the backfield underneath. Get on top of them and don't allow them to be ball carriers after they catch a football. Mickey Andrews, a fine defensive coordinator.
Really been an entertaining college football season, hasn't it, folks?
Best
so
one
many
we've
good
had.
games, sure is, Dick. And now we come down to this one, Florida State. Fun to watch all the great players. I thought some of the bowl games today were terrific. Wuerffel now changing up with the line with second down. Short drop, and he snaps it off and hits Anthony. The receivers are being punished after the catch. They're not letting him run free. That was Hamlet.
And they're mixing the coverage package up, and see, he's forced to audible. They would be smart to make the change in the coverage a little bit later so he can't go ahead and audible, Brent. That would help them. Don't show it quite so soon. But they're not playing a single coverage twice in a row. They're mixing it and rotating it.
Third and short. Now let's see what Spurrier does here this time. Will he gamble? He's got 2 downs, perhaps to make it. Time running out on the first quarter here in New Orleans.
This is his favorite run formation, if he has a favorite run formation.
They're not going to get it off. The first quarter, yeah, he has.
If he has a favorite.
He just as soon not. The 5th quarter is over, and Florida State and Florida are still tied.
The deal of the year on Ford Taurus is now even better because your lease payment is now even lower. Just $237 a month for 24 months on Taurus sedan or wagon. Or you can choose low 2.9% financing or $750 cash back. Don't wait to take advantage of these 3 great offers on Taurus sedan and wagon, because the deal that makes the best-selling car in America an even greater value ends January 4th. Ford Taurus.
What a party. All of Hollywood is here. You know that HBO movie you love so much? Don't look now. The director is right over there by the sculpture. I've just got to meet him.
The man is a legend. Check that. He's a genius in the making.
Excuse me. Do you have any idea how excited I am to meet you?
No.
I loved your last film. It was so gutsy, intense. No one else makes movies like that. I can't believe I'm actually standing here talking to you.
Neither can I.
I have to tell you, that HBO movie really spoke to me.
HBO talked about movies. Movies that matter. HBO makes them, and you don't want to miss them.
Don't tell me you didn't direct that.
Don't worry. I won't. Stop overthinking. Choosing a mutual fund can be painless. With just $50 a month, you can invest in Janus. Think about it. Start small, and investing won't hurt. Start to think big. Janus Funds.
Where were you when your cold pill quit?
Route 9, I totally clogged up.
Efidac 24 won't quit. Just one relieves symptoms 24 hours. Where were you when your cold pill quit?
Mine didn't quit. Mine is Efidac 24.
The cold pill that just won't quit.
Big man on campus in Tallahassee, very big man. Derek Alexander, one of the defensive linemen. He'll square off now against this Gator offensive line. This is 3rd and 1. Taylor is in at running back.
He's audibling.
Werfel will run Taylor, slides him to the left side. He saw that he had the numbers advantage over there. Remember what Danny Werfel did against Alabama. It was his audible at the line of scrimmage. He changed Spurrier's play that led to their winning touchdown. And one of the reasons why Steve likes Werfel is the fact that he is so calm at the line of scrimmage. If he sees that it's a numbers game and a play is not going to work, he'll get Steve and the Gators out of it. Mobley and Taylor into the I formation. Taylor again behind fumble. Florida State recovers. Our first turnover.
You know, it's too bad they turned it over on that play because Dwayne Mobley, the fullback, did an outstanding job of leading that play, creating the hole, did a nice job of blocking it, but the ball was stripped beyond that point of attack. Mobley did a good job. It's hard to do this, ladies and gentlemen. A fullback on a linebacker right at the center of your screen. Pull it right there. See that block right there? That's hard to do. Here's the ball getting stripped out right now. Todd Reble, number 48, reaches in there and takes it out.
And Hamlet says to thine own self be true. Give me the ball.
Where'd you come up with that one?
It's the only thing I ever remember from college.
Who'd Hamlet play for?
It's the 10 now. That was Bush, Devin Bush, who knocked the ball out. First down, and Danny Cannell will drop back into the shotgun. 4 wide receiver package for the Noles. Flares it out here to Dunn. And Dunn, downfield, wanted. Ellison's got it on a ricochet. The Noles are going to score. I can't believe it. Ellison's got it on the ricochet. Touchdown. Oh, baby. Bobby Bowden just said, Steve Spurrier, I got some of those myself.
A high school quarterback part of the time before he became a running back. He threw a line drive spiral like a good quarterback. Oh my God. He couldn't even believe he completed it.
There was, I believe, folks, a little bit of an excess celebration down there in the end zone. No more than 35 or 40 Noles were celebrating with Ellison. So as expected, the Zebras are into the act, and they will assess the celebration penalty on the kickoff. And all I can say about that rule is give me a break. Now here comes Mowry for the extra point.
You know, the play didn't actually break the discipline of the defense. The receiver just took it away from the defender.
Extra point is added. And now we go back to take a look at the 73-yard touchdown. This is the longest touchdown pass in Sugar Bowl history, and Warwick Dunn will throw it.
Warwick Dunn, the high school quarterback, and he got lunched right as he threw it. Outstanding concentration by Omar Ellison. He has outstanding speed as well, as he demonstrates right there. And he really is starting to enjoy what he just accomplished.
Now, I want to watch as Ellison goes into the end zone, snatches the ball away, dances in ahead of Wright, and then after that, there will be the celebration. This one might have been called on the cheerleaders.
I don't see anything wrong with that one.
It's got to be more excessive than that.
Huh?
Trust me, it was.
Well,
I looked over in the corner, but
okay.
You all know what I think about that. Let's go down to Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, we checked with the Big 8 officials before the start of the game on as to how they would rule about excessive celebration. And I think if you look at that replay, it might have been a little bit of the taunting that took place on the way into the end zone that drew the flag. Because according to the referee, Steve Usacek, he said our philosophy is going to be celebrations amongst the players themselves, no problem. But if there's any hint of taunting, an in-your-face type attitude, that's when the yellow flag will come out. If you look back at the replay, he did turn around and taunt the player going into the end zone.
Yeah, Jack, very good point, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think in a rivalry that's this heated, if that's why they called it, we would say job well done. We certainly do not need any fights breaking out here. These two have got passions that bubble over in an instant, and now the kickoff is out of bounds, and so they'll be penalized for that. Now, here's what Jack Arute was pointing out. As Ellison dashes into the end zone, does he say something to Wright? Catches the ball. Now, does he turn around here?
Weary is chasing him, number 24. Now let's see what he does. Is he saying something? Can't see his mouthpiece moving.
You know what he's saying? Can't you run any faster than that, man? Come on. You're going to be weary by the time you chase me through this end zone, partner.
Ellison was an All-American high school running back, so he's used to running with the football. That just doesn't look very flagrant.
Well, now, it really has an impact on this game, because after the penalty is assessed, the ball is brought all the way to midfield, because remember where they were kicking off as a result of that penalty. So after the yardage is tacked on, and now here comes that formation that he used against Alabama, splitting out wide receivers. Florida State has to be aware that he's got it, and instead this time they'll run out of it, and Williams crosses the 40 for a first down.
You get all those people spread out. As you said, Brent, they were successful versus Alabama with that formation. The defense spreads out, a little bit loose inside. They just reverse pivot, hand it off to the running back, and up inside he goes successfully. Good blocking at the point of attack, and you can see no real maroon jerseys around there to make the play. They're spread out covering those three guys on each side. Here it is again.
They come back with it, and you'll see there's only two defensive linemen. They could be passing again, and this time it is eaten up by Eric Smith. What a defensive hit by Eric.
Eric Smith is a good young linebacker. Actually, not a young linebacker. He's a senior linebacker, one of the few seniors on that defense. But a heads-up play. See, sometimes you can get too smart. The way he was throwing that ball back, I think he was going to try the double pass again. But again, Eric Smith, really alert, good discipline, makes the play.
So a 10-yard loss. What are we going to see next? Here's 2nd and 20.
Here's the three-man rush. This is the defense that Alabama used efficiently against them.
He's got good time. Had a man who sat down there, Rydell Anthony from South Bay, Florida, with Abraham, the cover man.
Did you see the defensive tackle, Orpheus Roy, come from the down lineman position, wheel around, rush the passer, and go down and get the second hit on the receiver? Good hustle there, young man. That's the way the game ought to be played.
It's fun, isn't it, folks?
Oh, these kids love to play against each other. They love to play anyway, but they really love playing against each other.
They sure do. They've known each other, a lot of them, since high school. Some of them were teammates, of course. Great high school programs back in the state of Florida.
It looks like they're tightening up coverage to blitz, and they are.
They drew Florida State offside, I believe. Wuerffel slips free, and it's complete to Hilliard, and there's some major league hitting going on down there. That time it was Devin Bush from Patterson, New Jersey.
Again, Danny Wuerffel, though, under extreme pressure. He knew they were going to blitz. He knew he was short in protection. He goes back anyway. Fights his way out of the sack, gets off, maintains concentration downfield, and throws the completed pass. This is why Coach Spurrier really respects this young man.
Well, the penalty being sorted out, and we'll remind you that tomorrow night on ABC, the new year brings new episodes of all your Tuesday favorites. Full House, Me and the Boys, Home Improvement, Grace Under Fire, and NYPD Blue. Happy New Year. Tomorrow night, right here on ABC.
You know, Danny Wuerffel told me in talking with him about the game plan that they're using the same offense they use all year. They're changing formation looks, and they have a real nice audible package to attack the different defenses that they see.
Dick, after the 5-yard penalty, because the Noles were offside, it'll be 3rd and 5 for Florida. Elijah Williams, as Spurrier continues to shuttle his tailback in and out. Williams and Taylor sharing the spot. Wuerffel short drop and got it. Put it in the hands of Anthony.
Good decision to blitz him and attack the wide receivers tight because they needed like that 5 yards to make it. It's very close. Wuerffel took a nice shot here. They're not doing a good job of picking up the blitzes. They've got, oh, that's a 15-yarder. That ought to be called right there. That's Devin Bush coming in with the forearm up underneath the chin. He should be flagged for at least 15 or kick his rear end right out of the football game. Boy, he came right up underneath the chin with that forearm, Brent.
Fourth down, and Wuerffel.
Take one more look at that hit. Maybe I didn't see it the way I thought I did here. Bush, number 11, come up. Watch the elbow come up right up underneath that chin, right under the neck. Obvious. I don't see how you miss that as an official.
Well, I've got a question. How can you call celebration and not call that?
And miss that.
I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
I mean, that is much more important than whatever Omar Ellison did or didn't say going into the end zone, by the way. Williams and Bilkey are into that backfield now. This is 4th and very short. Will Wuerffel keep it and try to sneak behind the middle? Trouble with the exchange, and by the time they get it to Williams, the Noles may have stopped him. The exchange was not clean, and that delayed the play.
You bet. He had to reach back to get that ball. It was like a double exchange, Brent. Many times in these 4th and inches situations, the center, they get a little excited, they get a little more weight forward, and they're going just a little early and don't concentrate in getting the ball all the way back there. Renard Wilson was right in there on that play, number 55.
Yeah, they stopped him.
Center quarterback exchange problem was the whole thing on that one, Brent. Look at his eyes right here. He says, oh, I don't have the ball. I don't have the ball. Now I have it. Too late. Renard Wilson comes in from the backside. No first down.
Florida State leads it.
This is Red Dog beer. It's not ice brewed, fire brewed, and it's not some nursing sipping red. It's just genuinely good beer. Okay, there is one thing unusual about Red Dog. It's unusually easy to drink. Because it's bold yet smooth. Because it's made with the finest natural ingredients. Are you gonna like Red Dog? Yeah, we think so. But hey, it's your call.
Look, I appreciate the fact that fast food is fairly inexpensive.
Only 99 cents.
I know it's convenient and all that, but if I'm gonna give you 99 of my cents, you're gonna have to give me more than just some burger. I mean, is it a Whopper? Is it flame broil or is it fried? Can I get it how I want it? Or am I going to be scraping gobs of secret sauce off the bun? I mean, I can get a roll of duct tape for 99 cents. Doesn't mean I want to make it my lunch.
The 99-cent Whopper, now at Burger King.
Overall, it's the most powerful line of trucks on the planet. A line of trucks built by people who look at things a little differently. From the company that puts an airbag in every single one. A line of trucks that, from one end to the other, simply refuses to follow the rules. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
What do the big game, the big bang, the big voice, and the big adventure have in common? Find out on the Doritos Super Bowl halftime show on ABC.
Sunday on ABC, 1994's winners tee off. It's the first PGA Tour event of the new year, and Phil Mickelson defends his title in the Mercedes Championship. Live final round coverage begins at 3 Eastern Sunday, right here on ABC. The man who is frustrated on the Gator sideline is Steve Spurrier. Cannot convert on a 4th and short. Earlier on a 3rd and goal. It didn't work out for him. He trails at 10-3. He hasn't put a touchdown on the board yet. The Knolls have taken over on downs. Danny Cannell drops one off, and that to the fullback, Zach Crockett, with Larry Kennedy coming up to make the play.
Alexander, Derek Alexander, the defensive lineman, he's taped up. Head in, right arm. This guy, he's a warrior, a real one. Carter that time took a real hard inside and really made that play easy to execute, but good defense by Kennedy.
2nd and 12. And it's Crockett running free to the 41 and a Knoll first down.
I really like this guy. He doesn't, he isn't spectacular because of all these other big name guys in their offense, but he's a big, strong guy at 6'2", 245, and he runs more like a halfback playing the fullback position, Brent. Very flexible, fluid athlete.
15 yards for Crockett. Florida State up by a touchdown. Time remaining into the first half. They were definitely offside. The nose man had crossed. Cannell will put it into Dunn's hands. Dunn is down at the 44-yard line. Lott and Lake were there. But there is a penalty, and it's going to go, I believe, against the Gators. Let's see if they were pulled off. I don't think he tried to stop the play before it unfolded, so this would be against the defense, and offside it is.
You can't blame that on a hard count by the quarterback because he's in the shotgun. It's too far away to give the hard count. Just not good concentration by the defensive lineman.
Watch the end of this play. The hand up at the face mask, and that is Lott, who is guilty of that infraction.
Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, doing a nice job of mixing up that formation package now. Now they have the 4 wide receiver shotgun package. They have a couple new trap plays out of this formation, Brent. 1st and 5, Cannell. Inside handoff to Dunn, and Dunn is down at the 48-yard line with Church. That's a new play. It's a wider trap. They were going to try to trap Carter. Mark Richt told me about this play. They thought even if it's not successful, they could maybe make him concerned about that kind of a play and slow him down a little bit.
Ellison and McCorvey are off to the left side of this formation. 4 wide receivers with a shotgun look. Dunn standing back there alongside the Knoll quarterback. For another first down. Working to the Wayne Messam side of the field. Larry Kennedy, the defender.
Wayne Messam, a 6'4", 200-pound sophomore. To have that kind of guy coming up in your program makes a coach feel real good about the depth in his program when you have a guy like that. He's a student body president as well. Nice, good student.
McMillan is the slot receiver in the right side of the shotgun look now for Cannell.
When they tighten up like this, they like to throw the ball wide.
Right over the middle they go, and it is there to the 31-yard line. That was Omar Ellison who caught the touchdown pass for the Noles.
They tightened up the formation and ran the back out in motion wide and spread them that way. Then they run the crossing formation from the right to the left. Underneath, what they hope they're going to get is zone coverage. But Bates, number 44, clamps. There should be another man coming outside. He gets there just a little bit late. Larry Kennedy, number 3.
And Ellison is out. Green is the wide receiver to the right for Bobby Bowden and the Noles. Here is that handoff to Dunn again, and Dunn battles his way to the 27-yard line, and that's another first down for Florida State. Moving again against this Gator defense.
You know, the Gator defense is a good pass rush defense, and these draws and the mixing up of the formations, that slows you down a little bit, makes you more aware of the things you have to read before you just take off and go get that quarterback. This young man has really started to mature after the 4th quarter in their last ball game.
Things are going Florida State's way here in the early going. Cannell will throw it, and he's got a man, Cooper, at the 4-yard line. Now let's see, they're waving it off. The first official said it was down at the 4. They are waving this one off and bringing it back.
Now, Jack Jackson went strutting into the end zone with a high step that time. You know what he told me? He wasn't going to do it. Oh, excuse me, it was Andre Cooper. Didn't make me a liar then, did he?
So no catch down there at the 4-yard line. And what you see in football, how has the game changed? They all watch the replay board, and this is what Coach Bowden was looking at. Cooper is up in the air. The ball is between his legs. He is dumped down.
Well, I tell you, that looked like a completed pass.
Here's the handoff. And he's assaulted with David Bernard there, number 97. Let's take one more look at Andre Cooper, the youngster from Jacksonville, who's down inside the 5.
He can leap. Andre, he's the only one to caught a touchdown pass in the ball game last time with all those points scored.
I believe he was losing control of the ball as he went down. I think that's a good call. The second official coming in on the play, I believe he did not have control as he came down to the ball, and the second man in made a good call. Crockett and Dunn are now in the backfield along with Cannell. This is a 3rd down and 12. Cannell is going to roll the pocket to the left. Fires complete, and that could be a first down. He hit Ellison right near the spot.
Ellison did a super job of driving 3 yards beyond the first down. Then he did a beautiful job of coming back for the football. This is an excellent job by the quarterback as well. Cannell gets outside the rush. Now he pushes him up, pushes loud upfield. Now watch him come back for the ball. Beautiful job. Sid Gilman would love that. He's the guy that really put that type of pattern in football.
1st and 10 and 3 wide receivers. Sid and his wife are probably watching in San Diego right now. Cannell in the end zone. Got him. Touchdown, Florida State. Danny Cannell with his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. His favorite target, Kez McCorvey, the receiver.
Deep stop. All right, see, they block the defensive end with the back, roll him to the outside again. 2 rollouts in a row, 2 big plays, well executed, touchdown. Changing the definition of the pocket, really tough on the pass rushers.
Now it's Dan Mowry, the senior kicker. And the Noles, with 2 touchdowns and a field goal, lead this baby 17-3. Florida State in charge. And the Noles, with 2 touchdowns and a field goal, lead this baby 17-3. Florida State in charge. Cannell with 2 touchdown passes already against Florida.
With the only V8 offered in its class, Dakota Club Cab has more. More horsepower. More maximum payload. More room inside. 15 cubic feet more than Ford Ranger or Chevy S10. Oh yeah, and it also tows more. Dakota Club Cab. A little bigger, a lot better. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Hundreds of natural forces may affect the survival of your business. And hundreds of companies may say they are as good as AT&T. But only AT&T guarantees that if your long-distance service ever goes down, it'll be back in minutes, not hours. Only our network gives every call a choice of up to 134 routes, so your calls get through, even when you can't.
Hi, I heard the phones were down out there.
Not mine.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
So I'll meet you under the clock at Union Station.
Wonderful. Bye.
Oh, Allison, how will I know it's you?
I'll be holding a bag of Doritos.
The new bag?
Of course.
I can see it now. Together on the beach with the new bag of Doritos. April in Paris with the new bag of Doritos. Down the aisle with our new bag of Doritos. Me and... Allison?
Back off. He's mine.
Doritos tortilla chips. Flavor's the way you look at life.
Tuesday, Brad gets a job, but has to hire help with his homework.
Brad, you got an A. All right.
On an all-new Home Improvement. Tuesday.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl is brought to you by the Chrysler Corporation and its divisions. Judge us by our performance. And Red Dog Beer, bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. Looked a little bit like Uga. All right, Mowry now with the kickoff.
Whoa, nice kick.
It's a beauty. Jackson's driven back halfway through the end zone. And it'll come out on the 20-yard line. And, well, the Gators have tried everything here, Dick, and yet they're behind suddenly 17-3. What's your feeling now? Should Steve Spurrier say, let's settle in and play a little football, or we should still go all out?
He loves catch-up football. That's his style. He normally plays it from the first snap on. You know that. But on that last touchdown, see, they got the wide receiver, Brent, one-on-one on a strong safety, and that is a mismatch. The linebacker that walked out, the defender that walked out on him, didn't do a good job of jamming him, so that really made it tough on Lawrence Wright.
Boy, Danny Wuerffel goes out there for first down with only 10 players on the field. Anthony Late trotting on.
Here it is right there. You'll see him stick him right there. He's on the strong safety, number 4, Lawrence Wright. Didn't get any help from the up-front coverage.
On first down, Wuerffel handing to Taylor. Taylor slammed at the 19-yard line, and the Noles with a big lead are going to be some tough hombres to deal with here tonight. A year ago down in Miami, they won a national championship. Steve Spurrier and the Gators were here. They dominated West Virginia. But this baby is taking on an entirely different look than last year's game here, and certainly the first time these two met in Tallahassee.
Well, Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, has his linebackers attacking everything, Brent.
Second down and 10 for Wuerffel.
The audible now. They're running against the nickel defense right now.
Taylor going nowhere because of Orphus Roy.
You know, we commented a little while ago on the effort that Orphus Roy was making on a pass rush, then running all the way back and making the second hit on a pass receiver, catching the ball 10 yards downfield. This time he doesn't have to run so far to make the play. He just whips a guy in front of him and gets after the ball carrier.
Now you folks in Nebraska that are watching, now you tell me the truth. You happy now that you took on Miami and not Bobby Bowden from Florida State down there in Miami, weren't you? You gotta tell me the truth now. You played an awfully good fourth quarter. That was a wonderful performance by Nebraska. Third down now. They go empty, and Wuerffel firing to the middle, and he's got the freshman Ike Hilliard. Forget about it. Won't catch him, ladies and gentlemen. He's too fast.
See, now they change up and go to a zone coverage. They get good pass protection, the square in pattern. First off, you need time to throw this kind of pattern. See, freeze it right there. See that big throwing lane right there. Easy. Now here he comes in the zone. Right there. Beautiful job. Someone should contest him as he comes off the line of scrimmage. Tough to defend if you let him get in the hole that quickly.
Now the swinging gate, and they'll bring it on over for Judd Davis. At 17-9, you wouldn't think Spurrier would want to do that, but I never am too sure about Steve. There's the conventional thing to do. Just put the 10th point up and trail. Now, how exciting is it going to be here in New Orleans? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a 73-yard touchdown pass for Florida State. That was the longest in the history of that game. The one you're watching right here broke that record. This 82-yarder to Ike Hilliard is the new USF&G Sugar Bowl record.
You love how new we're looking. You love how hot we're cooking. Yeah. You love the stuff we're made of.
There's a whole new spirit at Pizza Hut. That's why from now on, your pizza will be right or it's free. Guaranteed.
You love the stuff. You love the stuff. You love the stuff we're made of. You love the stuff we're made of. Pizza Hut.
If someone said they wanted a car that was as quiet as a Mercedes, yet as practical as an Accord, that handled as well as a BMW, but was as economical as a Nissan Altima, and that somebody said they wanted all of this in one car, you'd say they had their head in the clouds. And you'd be right. Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Business is the engine of society. Without it, there would be no jobs, no products, no competition, no advancements. Business is the engine of society. See how far it takes you. See how far it takes us all. This is the software that moves you forward.
Wednesday night is special, as you know, on ABC. First three of TV's funniest ladies in 2 great hours of comedy. Roseanne, Grace Under Fire, another Roseanne, and Ellen, starting at 8, 7 Central. Then Sam Donaldson and Diane Sawyer move to Wednesday with a new primetime live on its own new night. All Wednesday right here on ABC. We got almost a brand new game as the Gators quickly strike with a record breaker. And we've got another kickoff going out of bounds. And here comes the penalty. That'll be assessed. And meanwhile, I want to tell you, here is a mistake by a defender.
Well, first off, it starts out real good pass protection. They tried to run stunts up inside. It's picked off. They get the ball to Ike Hilliard. Now, he's heads up field. Now, we'll freeze it right here. You'll see now, instead of trying to tackle him, one man does. Now, Derek Brooke tries to take the ball out of his hand. He can't do it. Therefore, he doesn't make the tackle. Touchdown. And this young man is a true freshman. His uncle made many big plays in this stadium. Dalton Hilliard playing for the New Orleans Saints.
And Ike turns one in himself. And that, you know, if there's anything, Dick, I've noticed this year, it's that a lot of defenders forget that you've still got to tackle a player and not go for the ball all the time. I saw it in one game after another, yanking and grabbing and wanting to get the big play turnover and everything. And bingo, there goes another big offensive play. Rock Preston into the backfield now with Danny Cannell.
Here's the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set.
There was a defensive lineman. There's no flag on the play. Now it comes down. Oh, baby, did he beat the snap count. Mark Campbell by a full beat.
He got off prior to that snap, Mark Campbell did.
The action from earlier today here on Bull Day. Coach McCartney closing out his career with a big win over the Fighting Irish. A very disappointing year for Lou Holtz. They'll be back next year. So we're at the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl in New Orleans with Dick Vermeil and Jack Arute. I'm Brent Musburger. Florida State with the ball leads Florida 17-10. These two teams tied 6 weeks ago in Tallahassee, 31-31. Preston, the intended receiver. Lott had the coverage on him.
Boy, Lott was rolled up there in a double coverage. He had the short outside flat. When that ball was thrown out there quickly, he just attacked it. Nice job. They're very high on how this young man has played all year, just a sophomore.
Banged up, back from injuries, into that defensive backfield. Time remaining here in the second quarter.
Bob Pruitt, the defensive coordinator, said he would like to play some man against these guys, but he's just not quick enough in the secondary to play much man defense against them.
Second down, that inside handoff, and it's Preston who scored the tying touchdown in Tallahassee, and he is stood up by Mike Harris. He's a freshman out of Gainesville.
Yes, he did a nice job, and they showed a 4 deep and then rolled him up inside to that inside quarter zone, almost like a Robert defense. He didn't go deep. He rolled up inside, almost as if he were in the huddle. He rolled right in to make that play, and then he did a real good job of executing good fundamental tackling techniques.
Good look at Danny Cannell, whose father is one of the team doctors for the Miami Dolphins. Joined Mrs. Cannell here in New Orleans after the Dolphins victory to watch their son. Cannell going long. McCorvey incomplete. Had him open too.
Did a good job of bursting up inside and getting on the safety, Michael Gilmore, and then running away from him. He ran away from him. The ball was just outside of reach. That's the best pattern you can run against that kind of coverage. Maybe it was an audible.
Now Messam will check in along with Green as wide receivers. Most of their snaps have been in the shotgun look, and now he will move up as a T-formation quarterback out of the eye. And this is Preston. He is cut up and swallowed at the 43-yard line. Dexter Daniels was there.
Big Patrick McNeil, the offensive right guard, one of their better offensive linemen, all ACC this past year, pulled over there and tried to get a trap block, but he drew a crowd. He gets the trap, the kick out, but here comes Dexter Daniels and the rest of the group. Now he just keeps working on him. He said, I blocked you, I want to keep blocking you. Henry McMillan says, come on, man, I'll take you on.
Make it 3rd and 12 after the 2-yard loss. There's how they stand right now. Danny Cannell has 2 touchdown passes tonight. It's 17-10. And Cannell goes over to the sideline because of a timeout. So we'll take a break with 4:42 remaining.
You know, these Tostitos are baked.
Get out of here.
Really? But so tasty. Oh, I had this party, and I told everyone that baked Tostitos are low in fat, but nobody believed me.
Wow.
New baked Tostitos have only 1 gram of fat per serving, but they don't taste it.
These are baked? Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Really? They're baked?
No, really. Get out of here.
New baked Tostitos tortilla chips and fat-free salsa. Prepare to party.
Billions of years ago, the only place to get a nice gift was the airport. A good meal, the airport. Rent a wheel, the airport. That's why Thrifty Car Rental opened in your neighborhood. Now we're making it easier than ever before to rent really great wheels at very neighborly rates. And if you're at the airport, we're in that neighborhood too. Your neighborhood Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
This is a Goodyear AquaTread with a 60,000-mile warranty, and this is a bucket of water. At highway speeds, Goodyear AquaTread pumps away over a gallon of water every second, thanks to its deep groove aqua channel. Over a gallon a second, that's 396 gallons per mile. Think about it, the next time it's pouring buckets. The all-season AquaTread, only from Goodyear. We say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Saturday, January 14th on ABC, the season premiere of the Professional Bowlers Tour. PBA Player of the Year Norm Duke and the tour's top players will roll in with the AC Delco Classic. Then the national champion Razorbacks of Arkansas take on Auburn. Duke battles Virginia, or other regional games. It's Pizza Hut College Basketball. That's all January 14th here on ABC Sports. This is a 3rd and 12 for the Seminoles.
They're going to 3-man rush right now, so they rush 3 and cover with 8. There's not a lot of spots to throw the football. Got to throw it in front.
And he does to Dunn, to midfield to the 50-yard line. Credit George Hill with being right on the money, and me with a mistake, because that young man right there, Warwick Dunn, threw the first touchdown pass.
He's the quarterback,
and not Danny Cannell. So I should know better than to second guess my stats man. Huh? On a new year.
George Hill never made a mistake this year, has he? He's the only guy in this group that hadn't, though. I'll tell you.
And I'll make more, probably. Sean Liss into punt again, and now back deep is Palmer, Sorolla Palmer, a junior out of Louisiana, with some
nice hang time.
Family here watching the fair catch at the 14-yard line, and that's where the Gators will take over, trailing it by 7.
Believe me, we have not seen 1/3 of Spurrier's offensive package. He has so many tricks. When you spend time on their practice field and watch them work offensively, you always leave, and I'm a former coach, but I always leave having learned something and saying to myself, why didn't I think of that? That's a good idea. Fine, fine football coach this guy is, believe me. That's young Schottenheimer standing right next to him, Marty Schottenheimer's son that does the signaling for him.
Elijah Williams back in as the Gator running back. Dancing his way toward the 15-yard line.
You know, Brent, right now, the inside of the offensive line of Florida is being dominated by the defensive line play and the tackles. They're just not getting any movement and controlling those guys inside at all.
Puts them in 2nd and long.
Now playing right guard is Reggie Green, who's been a tackle all year, but due to the injury, he had to move inside, so we shouldn't be too critical of this young man.
Now they go empty as Williams moves out in motion, giving Werfel 5 receivers. Comes back to Jackson. Jackson for a 1st down.
See, now Reggie Green, as I said, is playing right guard for the first time in his career. Here he is, right here, the right side of your screen. Normally he plays one position wider. He's working on a guy, and believe me, ladies and gentlemen, that is a different pass set and technique playing in there. So he did a pretty good job, even though his man got pressure on the quarterback.
Dick, don't you think it's gotten awfully boring, isn't it? Haven't we got a minute and a half?
They haven't scored in a second or two, have they?
I don't understand it. Well, where's an 80-yard play?
Wait to this play.
Go empty, and now, well, Danny says, okay, if you don't like what we're doing, we'll huddle up over here and we'll see what coach has got to say. Now, while we've got a break, let's take this opportunity to check in on some more shows coming your way on ABC.
Wednesday, you won't believe your eyes.
I can't stop looking.
That's disgusting.
2 unbelievable episodes of Roseanne.
Becky knows something that I don't know.
Becky can't know something your mother doesn't know. With Grace in the middle.
Does she dance?
Not as good as she sings.
A special Roseanne.
What are we going to do?
What choice do we have? You got to give yourself to him.
Followed by Grace. And an all-new Roseanne.
It's like a train wreck. Train wreck full of naked people.
Roseanne, Grace, and Roseanne, an unbelievably funny Wednesday.
The Bowden family, now his son at Auburn. This is a family that Steve Spurrier will love to escape for a few months. He has had his hands full with both Terry and Bobby the last couple of years. Last season, not the one that just ended, prior to that, he couldn't stop him. This year, at least, he got a tie against Bobby. And now Florida State leads it 17-10. Isn't it amazing that there are 3 programs like these 2 and Miami, which exist in one state? Just think about all the talent that comes out of the state of Florida. Your favorite team, like Ohio State or Michigan or someone, they come into Florida. They recruit youngsters. Truly remarkable. Now it is Danny Werfel. Again, that same pattern, finding an open man working underneath. This time it's Anthony.
Reggie's battling in there pretty good. He's learning how to play right guard on the move. And when you prepare for an all-star or a bowl game like this right here, you don't do a lot of contact work. And here he's getting a little help from his center, but he's still battling strong there at the right guard and allowing this pattern, which takes time to develop, across the field in front of those zones.
Boy, it would be fun to be a wide receiver and play for either of these coaches, wouldn't it?
Oh, you bet.
Yeah.
Or a quarterback.
You know you're going to. Well, I'm not sure about a quarterback and Steve. you got to be. You got to have that tough exterior to play for the coach. Now Wuerffel firing. They're just running it.
They stripped it.
Florida State.
That was Bates. He did a nice job of stripping it.
And guess who's got it again? Football, where art thou? It is my man Hamlet.
Brent, I called Bates. That's 44 Darrell Bush. 44 Bates is on the other team. Here he stripped it right out of his hand. He'll reach in there, grabs that with his right hand, and rips it right out. One time it didn't work. This time it works. Big turnover.
Yeah, that is huge because the Gators seem to be building a little bit of momentum.
Well, coaches coach that all the time. Jim Gladden coaches those linebackers, and obviously the technique is well ingrained.
Oh, would the Noles love to get some points here in the last 2:30. This is a big defensive stand now for the Gators. They'll start off with the swing to Dunn. And Dunn gets a first down. He is a magnificent running back. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk again. I know many of you know the story about this young man. His mother was a police officer back in Baton Rouge. She was killed in the line of duty. He came over, and Doug Williams ran into Charlie Ward and said, you know, when Dunn shows up, Charlie, look after him. He did better than that, became his roommate. When you watch this young man, we've seen him throw a touchdown pass tonight. He can catch the ball. He's just a splendid all-around athlete. On first down, Cannell, the seam, McCorvey! And McCorvey to the 12-yard line. Now, Kes McCorvey, he's not the fastest receiver on Florida State, but he'll make the big catch for you. He has got those silky, soft hands. He just kind of like swallows the ball.
The coverage rotated out there. There was a safety on him, and he rotated out to double the wider receiver. And all of a sudden, he hits that seam right down the hole on Lake, number 18. There was a safety backing him up, but he rolled out to double the wide receiver, or the wider receiver.
Turnover ever so costly now for the Gators as the Noles are inside the 15-yard line. And a direct snap goes to Dunn, and he's inside the 10-yard line.
See, they ran
clever little play.
Yes, it is clever, and they've run that successfully all year. But they went to blitz on that time, and you know, if they were throwing that time, they would have had really good one-on-one coverage with the safeties. You see Banks, outside linebacker number 11, coming in underneath. They just snapped it directly to him. He almost got through, but good alert defense by the rest of the people stopped it.
Second down. One thing that happened 6 weeks ago, the Noles discovered the shotgun in Cannell. To the corner, incomplete as he overthrows Omar Ellison.
Lott is complaining. He felt he was being pushed all the way over there. He's complaining to the official. Omar Ellison was working on him there, and Lott says, you know, I think he was working me over a bit. Just a sophomore.
So we'll move along to 3rd and 6. Minute 25, Bobby checking the clock.
They're spreading them out all the way across the field right now. 3 wide receiver shotgun. They're bluffing the blitz.
They set underneath Dunn, and he's surrounded. Still battles his way. He never gives in.
You know, if you charted the number of yards he makes after a first hit, I bet you he makes about 1/3 of his total yards after that first hit.
You know, he's really the toughest running backs we've seen this year. I mean, the kids have got great ability, like Kajana Carter, and he can explode as he did the first time Penn State had the ball today. But this young man, he really battles you, doesn't he? And,
yes, he does.
Steve there with a nice smile. He's very, very happy.
Happy to get out with a field goal here.
Exactly. Danny Mowry.
It's not automatic. Mowry has missed.
Danny Cannell will spot it at the 14. It's a 24-yard attempt for Mowry, and this one he pounds through again, and the lead builds to 10.
Coach Bowden is feeling just a little better. You know, the last time we were in Tallahassee, he gave us a copy of his book. I haven't had a chance to read Coach Bowden's book yet, but when the season's over, I'm going to take some time and go through it. I bet it's a good one. Mallory likes that.
I don't want anybody to read anything into the fact that Dick Vermeil is going to read Bobby Bowden's book in the offseason. And now we move along here with 36.
It's not a technical football book. It really is sort of a leadership book, inspirational book. No, it isn't.
Oh, okay. No, he's a great young man. He's always fun to visit with.
Oh, yes, he
and
is.
I'm amazed. I love what Tommy Bowden said about Terry.
What was that?
He said, somebody said, how you enjoying the New Year's celebration? He said, anytime my brother's 2,000 miles away, I'm having a great time. He told somebody that down here. It's a great family.
Well, Tommy is Terry's offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that Bowden family, boy, are they part of college football, or are they part of college football?
Anthony and Jackson back deep. So the turnover, as the Gators are on the move, gave Florida State an opportunity to tack up a second field goal for Mowry.
Good high kick. You should be able to cover that.
See what Jackson, he wanted this one badly. 25 to the 31-yard line.
You know, he isn't very big, but he's very, very tough. Kick returner, wide receiver. He's only 5'9", 170 pounds. Very aggressive, tough young man.
Well, here is what set up that field goal. It was the turnover, and remember, the Gators had a big gain as Bush just strips the ball, and then Hamlet with his second fumble recovery of the game.
Hold on, 29 seconds to go.
Werfel, pressure behind. Complete to Jackson. Jackson breaks a tackle and makes his way to the 46-yard line with 19 ticks of the clock left. And remember, in college ball, stoppage of the clock after a first down allows the offense to quickly get up.
Boy, Werfel took a shot that time. Peter Boer came all the way around the outside and then up inside that pocket from the backside and gave him a hit just as he threw the ball.
Now the clock was restarted.
He downed her. He stopped her right there.
Give himself a break. And Jackaroo, how about our man, Jack Jackson?
You know, Steve Spurrier likes to get on his players and motivate them. But one of the things that Steve did earlier in the year is he asked Jack Jackson to sign the pledge. No, not the pledge that you would think of maybe you went off to church, but the pledge that he would play harder and commit himself more to the Florida Gators. Jackson signed that pledge, and ever since then he's been a standout for the Florida Gators offense. According to Spurrier, he's done this before. It started back with the Tampa Bay Bandits.
5 catches for 108 yards. Pledging a lot of yards here tonight. Now Werfel gets rid of it in time into the hands of his fullback, Chris Bilkey. How about that? That reminded me of Doug Flutie.
I'll tell you, the good, hard outside rush that time pushed him up in the pocket. Then he uses that little option push pass. Is this guy a competitor? Good, hard outside rushes. He pushes up inside the pocket. There comes Roy right there. He's going to push it right to the basketball pitch.
He could not cock his arm.
No.
He knew the defender was going to strip him if he attempted to bring it back. It's the only alternative that Danny Werfel had. He made the most of it, and he gives Judd Davis an opportunity for a field goal with 6 seconds on the play as a result of it. Now watch the defender wrap him up. And he says, no way I can cock my arm now. Take it, Mr. Bilkey. Let's get it done.
And they put it in a position that this kicker is one of the fine kickers in the country, in Judd Davis. His percentages all through his different distances rank with the best 5 kickers in the NFL over the last 10 years. I mean, this guy can kick the ball.
Fine young man, too, for some of you scouts out there around the NFL. You're looking to bring somebody to camp. You take a shot at either of these kickers. This is a 47-yard attempt here. Let's see.
He's 3 for 5 this year from that distance.
After we brag on him, No good.
Missed it. Gave him too much to build up.
Yeah. Yeah. Second thought, you better invite a couple of kickers. So there's the end of the half. Florida State with a 10-point lead over Florida right now. The Unfinished Business Bowl right now at Central New York. And John Saunders with Todd Blackley.
All right, Brent, thanks a lot, Todd. Will be along with me in just a moment's time. We'll discuss who's #1 and the possibility of a playoff right after these messages.
Long plays. Meanwhile, in the Florida State locker room, Coach Bobby Bowden was extremely upset by the players going to strip the ball rather than making the tackle. He tried to assure them that they need to do that. But here's another point. Warrick Dunn is suffering from some injured ribs. He's going to have to play the rest of the game with a bruised rib cage. They say he will play. Let's also update you from the officials' locker room. They say the reason for the excessive celebration, believe it or not, guys, someone came off the bench, didn't have his helmet on, and the ref said, hey, I'm not dumb. If you don't have your helmet, you weren't in the game. You're not supposed to be celebrating.
Good detective work. Nice suit Jackaroot's wearing down here in New Orleans, huh?
Cleaning up his act down here. He must have a date.
You bet, man. Cuts a sharp figure in New Orleans on Bowl Day. All right, here we go to second half. The Noles are set to bring it on back here against the Gators. Florida State is up by 10, 20 to 10 right now. Shane Edge, the punter, handling the kickoff duties. We've had a couple of sloppy kickoffs here tonight. And this one at the 9-yard line. Preston Hole, look out! Rock Preston explodes with a second half kickoff. Out of bounds. Malone saves a touchdown.
Rock Preston came into the ball game averaging 23 yards a return with a long at 45. He just went a little further on that one. Good tight wedge up in front of him. He hits right in the middle of the wedge, hits the crack. Good lead block there by Zach Crockett, number 32. Now it's the punter's turn. Now he told us he was going to make it, but the official gets in the way.
The official
gets
picks
in
him
the way.
off.
A punter kicker gets a chance to make a hit, and the official gets in the way.
Gotta hustle, gotta get out of the way. #1 rule of an official. You make a mistake, you can make a judgment error, but you gotta get yourself in the right position, and unfortunately, he was not. Unfortunately for the Gators now. Warrick Dunn is in. Incomplete.
You know, they've been in the shotgun most of this first half, Brad. 25 of their 32 snaps have been in the shotgun. The last time we did the broadcast, it wasn't until late third quarter going into the fourth they went to it. Danny Kanell operating the Charlie Ward offense right now excellently.
Second down and 10. Under pressure. Into Dunn's hands. Danny Kanell was actually thinking about taking a sack on that play. And at the last instant, he picked up Dunn and delivered the pass. There's a comparison as you take a look at the Florida State statistics and what they have accomplished here. Dunn throwing for a touchdown. Also rushing for another 42 yards. Now it is third down. Couldn't get the handle, incomplete. Lott with the coverage.
Underthrow him just a little bit, but he had him right there. Lott on the coverage. Gilmore, the safety, working his way over to get to him. Just a little bit underthrown. If he gets that up over the outside shoulder, he's got a touchdown, and maybe that should be caught anyway. But you know what's happening with all this shotgun and the number of passes that Florida State is throwing? It's wearing down the pass rush of Florida. Just what happened the other way around in the first ball game, Brent.
Mowry comes onto the field. He will attempt a long field goal here. The ball will be put down to 35, so it'll be a 45-yard attempt by Mowry. Got it. He has now made 3 field goals. 21 and 24 in the first half, and now he tacks on his longest of the night, and the Noles lead it 23 to 10.
Gillette.
saving closeness. Micro fins. And they're only on the new Sensor XL. These micro fins precede the blades. As Sensor XL's spring-mounted blades adjust to your face, these soft, flexible fins gently stretch your skin, so your beard stands up for the closest, most comfortable shave. Get closer than ever before. Get the new Gillette Sensor XL.
And action! So when you get that craving for 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, remember, McDonald's Big Mac is only 95 cents all this month. Cut! Cut! Well, how did I do? Was it okay?
You just caused a major Big Mac attack. Can we move on, Mr. Townsend?
Sure, what's up next?
Egg McMuffin.
Is it 95 cents too?
Just for this month.
Then we'd better hurry up.
It has a 16-valve Zetec engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class. A Micron air filter to remove dust and pollen, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. Introducing the all-new Mercury Mystique. When we created this car, we pulled out all the stops. The all-new Mystique. It's a whole new Mercury.
Golf's big winners in 1994 tee it up in the first battle of the new year. Don't miss the final round of the Mercedes Championship Sunday on ABC Sports.
The ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of the 1995 Lincoln and Mercury automobiles, and McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. It's 23-10, Florida State with the lead and kicking off. Jackson and Anthony are back to receive Mowry's kickoff. And it's another good one. Jackson from a yard inside the end zone. Middle alley. Jackson, penalty flag is thrown. Jackson in a foot race. Crosses midfield. But there is a flag. Let's see if an illegal block is called.
Mowry got the hit. He's really fired up. 3 field goals, kicking the ball in the end zone. He's in over his head. He's really pumped. He's hitting people.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
You know, Florida's had excellent special teams all year. Good coverage. That kickoff against them was the longest of the years against them.
You know what the difference in that kickoff return was, Coach?
The official.
That's right. He didn't pick Mowry off.
No.
That was a 50-yard return, but it was nullified by the penalty. And 62-yard return on the other side of the ball for the Noles starting the second half.
Receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
First and 10 for the Gators with Williams and Bilkey set in that backfield behind the quarterback Werfel. Once Williams, who slipped out as a receiver, 23-yard line where he is hit by Darrell Bush. Offensive leaders now for the Gators have come out. Danny Werfel not all the way at quarterback. Anthony, wide receiver, with 1 pass completion for 52 yards and 19 yards rushing for Williams with 16 for Taylor. Jack Jackson with a big first half. Now Werfel ready to go again here on 2nd and 5. Steve Spurrier. Werfel.
Good hit.
And that made Clifton Abraham force the incompletion on the tackle. That's why he's an All-American defensive back.
Speaking of All-Americans, we have Derek Alexander on Jason Odom right here, the offensive left tackle, number 74 on Derek Alexander. Good pass set, good jam. He tries to go underneath him, right? Good athletic ability. He shouldn't allow him to get in there, but initially he set up pretty good. Derek Alexander, a strong, strong player with another year of eligibility.
Gators haven't gotten the ball to Chris Doreen yet tonight, have they?
No, they haven't. He hasn't been in there that much either. He's up there now.
3rd down and 5. Penalty flag intercepted by Hamlet. Oh, baby. There's whistle on the play, however. There was a flag. This one's coming back, so hold on.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. No play.
Oh, that's a break. You talk about a break. Woo. Offensively, all set up. Defense is across the line of scrimmage. What did he call?
Illegal procedure of some kind against the Gator offense, and Steve will take it. Play was whistled dead. There's no question. Yeah, play was whistled. Gators are penalized the 5 yards, so the ball will come back to the 20-yard line. Third down and 10. Dumps it off to Anthony. He has to re-grab it, and they say they fumbled it again, but the official marks it down.
The defense is doing a good job of attacking the ball once the receiver gets it. They're not allowing him a cushion to run with the football. He's trying to throw it in front of the zone. Orpheus Roy working right up inside there, trying to get in front of his face.
Came after edge a bit that time. Colsey set to return it from the 35-yard line. Colsey looking for daylight. It's going to be run out by Carter on that far side around the 44-yard line.
You know, it might be a good idea to get Kevin Carter out of the punt coverage. He's rushing the passer all the time. These guys are wearing down just a little bit from that shotgun pass rush situation anyway. You might conserve that a little bit and use somebody else to cover the punts. Toughest thing, most physically draining thing you can do is rush the passer.
I thought Miami came up a little tired last night against Nebraska, and then when Coach Osborne switched to that option, that caught him a little bit unawares. And you said there was some great trap blocking.
Yeah, they broke that trap up inside there like that, and good change of pace. And they just, you know, those offensive linemen are big, strong guys.
Now we'll take a break. 12:07 left in the third.
Ahead of you, a dramatic wraparound instrument panel. On your left, a 3-person memory system. On your right, a 10-disc JBL audio system framed in burl walnut. Below you, leather 8-way power seats. And all around you, a car so beautifully designed it can go 100,000 miles between scheduled tune-ups. Lincoln Mark 8. Give up. You're surrounded. Lincoln Mark 8 with the V8 Intech system. Drive everything else first.
I love your books. I'd like to see them breathe.
Peter's talking to a Hollywood big shot.
I'd like to see them come to life. I'm thinking big screen.
3,000 miles away, and you can see his face in perfect detail, unfortunately.
Personally, I feel like we're family already.
Personally, I don't want to be in his family.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'd like to see it fleshed out a little.
Watch your pockets, guys.
Cowboy, still a modern-day hero, standing up for what's right as he rides across this land. He still earns every dollar to pass through his hands. So here's to the cowboy as he heads for the mountains. No place he'd rather be than right here. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush.
Is Metavoy being hounded by a gypsy curse?
I am not a person who responds to threats. And why would my gums all of a sudden start bleeding?
An all-new Blue. Tuesday, viewer discretion advised.
Saturday July 14th on ABC, the season premiere of the Professional Bowlers Tour. PBA Player of the Year Norm Duke and the tour's top players roll in with the AC Delco Classic. Then the national champion Razorbacks of Arkansas take on Auburn. Duke battles Virginia or other regional games. Pizza Hut College Basketball. That's all January 14th right here on ABC. Now there, folks, is a punter. Don't be picking on those big fellas, and that's the wrong sideline, Shane. Come on over here with the white jerseys on if you can do that. Tiger McMillan in as the running back. Church, Daniels, some of his buddies help out there.
They're starting to move defensive linemen around. That time they moved Ellis Johnson, a defensive tackle, to defensive left end, and moved Kevin Carter to the inside just to sort of change up the one-on-one matchups. This is a very strong college defensive line, especially those two we just saw, numbers 57 and 61.
Dunn back in for the Noles. Great receiver as this one out of bounds at midfield by Ben Hanks and Anton Lott.
Ben Hanks did a good job of approaching that ball properly from the inside out, giving the running back no place to go except out of bounds. Oh, Benny Hanks, where
I kind of missed number. You know what I miss? The Seminole horse doesn't stand out here.
Maybe they don't let him indoors.
Maybe he's, I don't know what the deal is. I haven't seen him here. I see that old gator walking around down there. Third down. There's the first down. Got it into the hands of Green. Jackaroo, what's the situation with livestock here in New Orleans?
Brent, as long as you're a livestock, the fuzzy kind of a mascot, and you're not alive, you're okay. That's why the gator is here. But if you're looking for Renegade, Chief Osceola's great mount, the white Pinto type mount, they don't allow live animals here inside the Superdome. So he's not allowed to come. Not the first time live animals haven't been allowed. When Uga for Georgia and Smokey from Tennessee, they weren't allowed in either.
Here is Cannell sliding safely. Well, they allowed Jack to come into the building.
Yeah.
Did you notice, folks, you never want to share the limelight with an animal. Did you see how Jackie was on camera, how he slid away from the gators? Did you catch that?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you've never been inside the gator suit. Remember that, guys.
Yeah, I know. You know. Second down now, Jackson. And back in the shotgun. Danny Cannell with the Noles on the move again, leading at 23-10, 10:40 to go in the third quarter. There's that inside handoff, and Mr. Dunn takes off again, and he is becoming a real load for that Gator defense here tonight.
I know if he's got bruised ribs, he's not demonstrating it right now. I mean, that's a little shake and break move. He wanted to go up inside. He couldn't. It was all plugged up, and he just accelerates and bounces outside. A deep snap in the shotgun. He slides over, inserts the ball, starts up inside, gets a block from Hernandez over there, number 77, and he just gets outside for the first down. The other thing they're doing out of the shotgun, which they didn't do the first game, is they're running some quick passing, which allows the offensive lineman to cut block the pass rushers. It's good change of pace. Good job by Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator.
Dunn's averaging better than 5 yards a carry, and they did. Cannell throws incomplete off it. Ellison, the intended receiver. They anticipated the snap count very well. Davey Council was in there on top of the passer.
They were concerned about Todd Fordham, the offensive right tackle in this ballgame. He had been banged up. Here he is, number 71, in the up stance there, left side of your screen. He's sliding back out there and does a good job. Good pass protection technique. Gets his hands up inside and stays on fake Mark Campbell.
Second down at 10, and Cannell on a hard roll to the right. He's going to throw back to the middle, and he's got McCorvey in the middle, and it is incomplete.
You know, they have Dunn doing a lot of things, running the ball, running the draw, catching the balls coming out of the backfield, throwing double passes. He's also being used as a cut blocker and rolling outside in the shotgun. He did a nice job that time to allow the quarterback to get outside cleanly. You'll see him right here as he comes, and he cuts right here as the quarterback takes it and gets outside. Boom, he cuts him down right there, gets him outside. He's got all the time in the world now. He should have taken more time and set up and thrown that ball more accurately.
So it's 3rd and 10 for Cannell and the Noles. corner. Cooper one-on-one goes into the air for the incomplete. There is a penalty flag down in the end zone. Cooper wants the touchdown call on the play. Kennedy is holding on to the football down there, one of the defensive backs.
Tie goes to the offense.
So Cooper must have pushed off down in the end zone. Offensive interference. Let's take a look at this down in the corner now.
Right-hand corner of your screen. Cooper going up for the football. You really don't see any sign of it there. It must have happened prior to there. It looks like it's just a good play. Here's another left-hand corner of your screen. We'll take another look. Our directors are working. Our producers are working down there. One more look right in the middle of your screen.
Dick, I'll tell you what else happens on this play. I think Kennedy strips it on the way down and is holding the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, he's got the ball.
I think Kennedy absolutely stripped the ball down and down in the end zone. It should be Florida ball. He intercepted it, didn't he?
Yeah. Right-hand side of your screen. He's leaping high. Cooper, and then Kennedy comes underneath. He's got the ball right now. Cooper comes up empty-handed, and Kennedy's got the ball. See that?
You know, the referee, when he called and waved it off down there, he never looks down, if you take a look at that picture, to see Kennedy on the ground with the football. I think he assumes that Cooper had lost it out of bounds or had possession or something. But there seems to be a problem down there, and he didn't notice. Regardless, what stands, stands. And now it is 3rd and 25. Cannell out of bounds at the 45. Now let's see what's happening down there. Nothing. They're going to let Cannell slip free. There was no problem down there. They were just celebrating the hit. Now I want to see this again. Now watch the official right here. Just watch his eyes. He's waved it off, and it's a very puzzling thing. No question Kennedy had the football. You know, the one point I want to make about this officiating crew, and maybe I'm off base on this, but it is a Big 8 crew. They're seeing an awful lot of passing here tonight, an awful lot of action back in this.
No options.
I'm not sure that you see. Now, listen, that means nothing. Forget about it if you don't like that comment. Anyway. Now, Sean Liss is in to punt again.
Boy, did a nice job. Sean Liss, that was
Boy, is he a fine punter? They missed him when he was hurt.
Coach Bowden made the right decision there.
Oh, he doesn't make too many bad ones in bowl games.
This football flashback brought to you by Wavy Lays. Bet you can't eat just one. Bet you can't name the current head coach who won the Heisman Trophy in 1966 and accounted for 3 touchdowns in the Sugar Bowl the same year. See you later, Gator.
A week of scout camp. How hard could it be? Yeah.
I'm your new troop leader. We're going to chop wood and dig a ditch from here to there. Any questions?
Bet you can't eat just one.
Kid, I once went an entire week without breathing.
New Wavy Lays Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. Bet you can't eat just one.
Keeper!
Hidden Valley's a special ranch. Wavy Lays are special potato chips.
Did you guess which Heisman Trophy winner helped his team score 3 touchdowns in the 1966 Sugar Bowl? It was none other than Florida quarterback Steve Spurrier, now the Gators head coach. That's our Wavy Lays football flashback.
The all-new Mercury Mystique drives like no other car in its class. With 4-wheel independent suspension, A 16-valve Zetec engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. As for the rest, class dismissed. Drive the all-new Mystique. It's a whole new Mercury.
Tomorrow night on ABC, the new year brings new episodes of all your Tuesday favorites. Full House, Me and the Boys, Home Improvement, Race Under Fire, and NYPD Blue. Happy New Year. Tomorrow night here on ABC with Jack Arute and Dick Vermeil. I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us. The Louisiana Superdome, we're 10 minutes past the hour, 11 o'clock in the east. Here in New Orleans, we're 10 after 10, 9:42 still remaining. Folks, this one may run a little bit. Still 9:42 to go in the third quarter. Florida with the ball, trailing Florida State 23-10. Danny Werfel backing into his own end zone now, and he is sacked at the 4-yard line. Big number 90, Alexander.
Werfel had only been sacked one time coming into this ball game in the last 2 games, but they put some good pressure on him. The other thing they're doing, Mickey Andrews wanted to make the quarterback, Werfel, hold on to the ball just a little longer and move to other receivers with changing coverages. And that's why that sack occurred that time.
Second and 13. Taylor to the 6-yard line where he is down. Dick, we do get some clarification from the field. The official said he did see Kennedy, and he said he ruled it a simultaneous catch, which means that in that situation, the penalty would take precedent. Now, that's what they have told us from the field, and we'll go along with the fellas down there. So it is third down and 11 yards for the Gators. Get back to Werfel. Danny dancing. He's beyond the scrimmage line. And now he throws it.
He had a couple offensive linemen downfield that time, Brent. They didn't call it, but he had an offensive lineman or 2 downfield on that.
Where is the, there's an injury. We got all kinds of things. Here is a scrimmage line. Right here at the 5-yard line.
They give it back to him on that flea flicker type play. Boy, that's a risky call.
Watch what he's doing here, Dick. See if I'm dead wrong. He's way beyond it.
Well, that wasn't even 71 right there. Jeff Mitchell's way beyond the line of scrimmage.
Am I going goofy?
No, not you. Huh? Not this night in the week.
I didn't even think that one was close. I looked at another play in the corner, and I still haven't seen pass interference down there. Meanwhile, David Swain is hurt, and hey, listen, John Saunders, I hear the dash for cash is underway. What do you got, big fella?
Absolutely, Brent, as we bring you back to Bowl Day 95 presented by Wavy Lays. The news, as you must have heard, Heisman Trophy winner Rashaan Salaam will declare for the NFL Draft.
Meanwhile, David Swain is hurt, and hey, listen, John Saunders, I hear the dash for cash is underway. What do you got, big fella?
Absolutely, Brent, as we bring you back to Bowl Day 95 presented by Wavy Lays. The news, as you must have heard, Heisman Trophy winner Rashaan Salaam will declare for the NFL Draft.
Yeah, I decided, you know, me and my mom was talking, and Coach Uzelak, and I decided that this was my last game in the senior uniform.
Last game was a victory as it goes out with Coach Bill McCartney. The Heisman Trophy winner is turning pro. Back to you, Brent.
John, thank you very much. Thank you for all the hard work today. It's been a long day for our crew back in the New York studios. It's been nice having them with us today. Shane Edge standing back. It is now 4th down. They come after him. Colsey's going to let this one bounce, and it's going to take a big Florida bounce.
That was a mistake to let that bounce.
Dick, let's take another look at this play.
I don't believe I've ever seen a flea flicker run out of your own end zone. They hand the ball, watch it toss. toss it, give it back, come back outside, back in the end zone. He's forced back up in the pocket. He's scrambling around, running around. Now he's got some linemen moving downfield there.
Folks, that was not even close.
No.
And a 54-yard punt.
Well, you should never allow the ball to hit the turf and roll.
So now the Noles will take over, leading at 23-10, 7:57 to go here in the third quarter. Rock Preston into the Seminole backfield. Zach Crockett moves over as the fullback directly behind Cannell. Preston is stopped at the 43-yard line.
Tough day for the officials. You know, we missed a few calls, and hey, I missed a couple calls myself. But this guy right here, that's another official. He's going to get it. Watch this to the right side of your screen. Bang! Oh, he doesn't have a helmet on. He doesn't have a helmet. That kid says that's what you get for making that call.
Well, we've had an official already in this half pick off a return man on a kickoff.
He's tough. He's tough.
Second down. And 7 yards here from the shotgun again is Cannell. Swinging Preston. Preston makes a nice grab. He's out to the 48. That was Ben Hanks who could not wrap him up.
But he did make him change course, slow down, and the pursuit was real good. Benny Hanks has been a factor. He's been closing in on those outside layoff patterns real well.
So, Warrick Dunn tonight. He has rushed for 49 yards. He's got 45 yards worth of passes. And he has passed for a 73-yard touchdown. You're looking at, as of right now, the Florida State MVP, Warrick Dunn. But it's early, so hold on. 6:30 to go now. Still in the third quarter. Off a fake. They throw complete to McCorvey. That's good enough for a first down.
See, good design of an offensive play. Fake away, pull coverage with you, and then come out and throw an out-breaking pattern away from the flow. Now he's going to fake here, draw him that way. See, fake there, draw him that way, gets outside the pocket. Now see over to the left side of your screen. That allowed the receiver to get that outside position on the defender who's looking back in at that action.
First and 10. Sideline Green. Stays inbound to the 31-yard line.
This is a little new addition to the shotgun formation. Throwing a quick pass out of the shotgun. Your quarterback's got to get it and get rid of it to throw those little 5- and 6-yard pops. They are wearing the pass rush down with that shotgun formation.
Danny Cannell.
Looks blitz. Here they come.
Forced him to hurry as Wright was coming, and we check down and see that Terry Dean, who lost his job early this fall, is just starting to limber up over here on the Florida sideline.
The number 2 rated quarterback in the country right now, and he hasn't played since the 6th game.
He has 2 backups. You know what I like about Kresser's warm-up? He's got his helmet on. That's
good observation.
Folks, when you see the man warming up who's got the headgear on, you can usually bet on him if they're going to make a change. And here's Dunn spinning and dancing. Got to the 29-yard line. Ellis Johnson among the defenders there.
Excellent pursuit by the defense. See, they had him bracketed outside, right in front of him, and inside. He had no place to go. Just great athletic ability enabled him to almost go ahead and make a good gain. Some guys starting to suck a little wind. You see that, Brent? Mark Campbell, a defensive end. He's been rushing the passer, and that is exhausting.
The Gator sideline looking for something to happen here this half. 5:20 left in the third quarter. Boy, meanwhile, as you see the scores, one of the things that I hope is not overlooked in all this controversy about who's number one and should we have a playoff, I hope it is not forgotten that this has been a wonderful college football season, that we have seen great games and great performances by a whole lot of schools along the way. I would hate to see this just disintegrate into this team should be number one. Why don't we have a playoff? Not a whole lot we can do about it here tonight, folks. The system's the way it is. Let the voters take over. And I just say congratulations to both Nebraska and Penn State. I thought they were tremendous all year long. And
this is 4th down and inches, and they just sent in Trey Johnson, a giant 300-and-something pounder. Hasn't played much this year. He's at the left tackle. Now, if I was going to bet, see, they're unbalanced to the left. If I was going to bet on anything, I think they'd run to the left up behind that big 340-pounder. And that's what they do.
Got it with Crockett.
Wasn't easy, though. He's a moose, that big fellow over there. They got 4 people over. They go unbalanced. I don't remember seeing them go unbalanced in previous broadcasts. Here they are right in the middle of the screen. He just comes off there, and they're doubling. See, they get a little cushion there, and Crockett, good extra effort, finds that little crack for the 1st down. Even Christmas, that guy, he is a big fella.
Dick, let me ask you this. Florida State really has dominated this game. I mean, I may be exaggerating a little bit with the word domination. Why have they been able to come in here in the rematch and control the game?
I think their offensive line is playing so much better and more physical than the first time we saw them play, Brent.
The offensive line goes back to work again, Dick. And on 1st and 10, Cannell with time is able to swing it over to Dunn. Dunn powers his way again to the 20-yard line. I have a question defensively, Dick, and that swing pass, which was so effective in Tallahassee, and again here, what can you do as a defensive coach to give him less running room as he comes to that corner?
Well, you can play man-to-man coverage, but if you play man-to-man coverage, and that forces your corners and other people to be playing man-to-man, and they don't feel they match up real well playing man-to-man. Now, you can play some zone where the man on that one guy is a changeup, but you don't want to do that consistently.
Cannell dropping to the right, looking for McCorvey, and complete.
See, there they have a slot wide receiver, a fine receiver. It doesn't make the catch, but he's isolated on a free safety there because they're bringing other people in the rush. And that is what they end up with if you blitz people and get that man-to-man coverage. See, Michael Gilmore, brilliant, brilliant young man, but not a matchup for a wide receiver. He's a free safety. Michael Gilmore is going to go to med school, already been accepted.
3rd down and 1, and we're going to have a timeout. I believe it's the defense. We're going to take a break here. 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Steve Spurrier trying to find some answers.
Every day we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept. I'm giving it our best.
America's most complete source of auto parts, a national warranty program, and customer service only Napa can give. No wonder more people trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
The most amazing thing about Digital's new 486 75 megahertz computer isn't that it can fit in your briefcase. It's that it fits, full-size screen, keyboard and all, in the envelopes in your briefcase. Introducing the Digital High Note Ultra. About 4 pounds light and 1 inch thin. The functionality of a notebook. The portability of, actually, an envelope.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's Enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you. Take you back to our office, and you're on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Nell, nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actress Jodie Foster.
You remember that?
Share the gift of innocence. Nell, rated PG-13, now playing at theaters everywhere.
Well, it doesn't make any difference if you bring Bobby Bowden to Bourbon Street in New Orleans. You take him to any of the party towns this time of year, Miami or out to Phoenix, man's going to be real tough in a bowl game. He's gone. 12 games without a loss, folks. There's the overall record. Led the Seminoles to 16 bowls in 19 seasons. Somebody calls you up on the phone and says, come on and play, Bobby. It's January 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. You might want to pass the invitation.
You bet.
I mean, it's something.
He wants to get 25 years in at Florida State before he steps down.
A lot of coaches hoping he gets there in a hurry. 3rd down, Cannell handing off to that big fullback again that you like, but I don't think he got it. That was a long way for that dive, wasn't it?
It didn't look like he made it.
Well, Mr. Mowry, come on and try another one, you think?
Well, they might go for this on 4th and inches, Brent, you know, because they respect Florida State and their speed and their ability to come back. See, if they would slide that a hole wider in that unbalanced line, they'd make it. There's too many people up inside there that don't like him that's preventing that 1st down play.
Well, the Seminoles right now are working hard on the scoreboard as there's an injured player.
Trainer Randy Orbitz comes out there. Boy, these colleges have great training staffs. As we go around from campus to campus and get to meet these guys on the practice fields, all these schools have outstanding crews.
Yeah, it's a pleasure dealing with all the different schools around the country, Dick, and the coaching staffs are also very cooperative.
Florida's trainer is Mike Wasick, Chris Coing, and Kelly Mauchin.
Well, you know, Steve Spurrier, you don't want to count him out because I think Alabama had him on the carpet. That was back there in the SEC championship game, and he came up with a few wrinkles. He was trailing by 6, as I recall, late in the ball game, and Werfel limped off, faked an injury. Kresser threw a strike down that left sideline over there to Hilliard, and then the double pass, Doring throwing to Aubrey Hill, then the audible by Werfel out of the run, the slant to Doring, and it was 24-23. So if Steve can get himself into position here, the only thing is he's been dominated pretty well by this Noel defense, and that's a big man to be losing in Ellis Johnson.
The other thing, Brent, it's important, I think, he's got to stay on the field offensively and give his defense a chance to rest. They're going to be worn down, and maybe the offense comes back, but they're not going to be able to stop Florida State in that 4th quarter.
Well, let's see what happens here on 4th and 1.
It's a freeze play. They may not snap the ball. No, they're going to.
Now they do, and Dunn will get it.
So they got outside away from that crowd. They have a freeze play in their game plan where they get up there and make a drastic shift, get in the formation, and sit on a long count to see if they could draw them off. This time they didn't use it. They went around and ran the toss.
Is this the first time that they have pulled that tight end in motion through there like they did that time and then set him on the other side?
That's the first time I've seen it. Patrick McNeil did an awfully nice job of pulling around the corner there and getting a key block for that 1st down. Coach Bowden, he's chairman of the board. He doesn't coordinate the offense or the defense anymore. He says he calls just enough plays to foul it up.
1st down with Zach Crockett, running back behind Cannell, and that means they put Dunn out, one of their receivers, and they'll slam Crockett into the middle of what you have said is a tiring defensive front now to the 10-yard line.
They like to run Crockett down here inside the red zone. They like to trap and get him up inside quick. They've used it as a 2-point play. We saw them score with that same play against Florida when they started their comeback. Well, we're getting close to that 4th quarter. Maybe it's Florida's turn to turn the numbers around in the 4th quarter like Florida State did last time.
Remember, it was 31-3 before the Seminoles came alive.
And from there, a quarterback grew up. That's why they're using this total offensive package now, shotgun and everything else.
Dunn.
Oh, nice pass.
Slammed at the 10-yard line by Mark Campbell, the junior from Miami.
really a nice job of defensive end play. He really squared up. We've commented about him during the ball game. He's not a superstar. He's just one of those consistent, every snap type of players. Gives it everything he's got from the right side of your screen. He fills up in there and pow, makes a play. Worked off his block properly. Did a good job of whipping Billy Glenn, the tight end, inside out to make the play.
We've got an injured lineman, I believe, down for the Knowles right now, Dick.
They don't have many healthy left. They can't afford to. Louis Tyre, now he came into the ball game a little bit banged up. Been banged up in practice. One of the contact sessions they had, he got a little banged up. He's getting up. He's got a smile on his face. Louis Tyre. He's a junior from Georgia, Appling County High School. All ACC guard. Look at that. He just wants to get back in the game, or else he's saying, where am I? Where am I? But they don't have many healthy offensive linemen beyond those kids that are playing.
What kind of patterns do they like down here on third down?
Well, they like the slant pattern, and if they get the man coverage, they like to run the slot guys on the outside guys on the in pattern.
Surprise the Gators on that play, and now they'll have to go for the field goal, and Maury will trot onto the field. Jackaroo, Jack.
Brent, let me tell you how Maury lines up his field goals. He'll come out to the spot, and then he will focus through the uprights, and he will find a fan right in the middle of the uprights. He says, I make eye contact with that fan, I look back down, and I kick the ball. I said, what happens if the fan moves? He says, maybe that's why I go wide right every once in a while.
Yep, down in Miami,
There's the fan he's looking for.
Fan will move every time. That fan moved again.
That fan moved.
26-yard miss.
You can't believe he missed his easy one there. That's a real lift for Florida right now. They're 2 plays out of this football game, and they can score so quickly.
Well, after 2 quarterbacks warm up on the sideline, number 7 re-enters again.
I don't think you can blame him for the lack of offense. They haven't been able to run the ball at all. They've been pressured.
Let's see if Danny Werfel and the Gators can come up with something here. 127. This is about as long this season. Florida fans have gone without a big play. Drops it off to Williams, the running back, to the 25-yard line.
Well, the defensive game plan by Mickey Andrews of bracketing those guys as they come out of the backfield, man on the inside of him, roll up on the outside of him, and then collapse on him, so far has been very efficient. Yes, they made 5 or 6 yards, but in games past, we've seen those running backs run for many more yards.
Florida State 23, Florida 10. Final minute, third quarter of the USF&G Sugar Bowl from New Orleans. The final college football game of the season. Coming back is Doreen. Doreen's going to throw it back to the other side, and there's interference, isn't there? Yeah. Absolutely, at the 20-yard line. The receiver, Williams, was tackled by Eric Smith, number 43. This is amazing.
I'll tell you, how do you read that pattern, huh? Boy, you're really, really searching into your bag of tricks when you come up with something like that. I've seen him work on that on the practice field. Yeah, and it worked better on the practice field.
Defense.
Sprint to the left, get way out there, draw the defense, flip it back, throw it to Doring. Doring said he had a new pass in the offense that he hadn't used yet. Wow, that's a pin.
Well, now Eric Kresser will try it. Now, holding was what the official said, so that's an automatic first down. Holding against the defense.
Eric Kresser has a stronger arm, and they emphasize a little different pattern, Brent, with him in there. He can throw those deep comebacks and the deeper patterns, the burst patterns on the safeties against these double coverages they're getting.
Presser is sacked at the 27-yard line. Pittman.
Julian Pittman. See, they're doing a good job of rotating defensive linemen in there, and he is fresh, good quickness, hasn't played very much so far in the ball game, and Spurrier's upset about that.
The man is simply not conventional. It would be awfully hard to get a read on what he's going to do next. One observation I have tonight is that he has not worn the headset at all. Remember, after the loss to Auburn, he put the headset on for a time, but he has not here. And Eric Presser, sideline with that rifle arm of his, completes his first pass of the evening, the freshman Rydell Anthony. The third quarter is over. Florida State leads it 23-10, and we'll return with more after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
If man were meant to fly, he would have been born with a 32-valve, 280 horsepower Lincoln Mark 8.
Do you know how much Pringles you got? More from this can than you thought. Fill a bowl from a Pringles can. Got as much as this bag. Amazing man. Can you believe how much Pringles you got?
When you have a cold, a smart way to get medicine is little by little throughout the day. But this is a little extreme for a cold. That's why there's Contact. Its tiny time pills work fast, then keep releasing medicine for 12 hours, like an IV. Contact. Relief that's fast, relief that lasts.
Day One is back with Sawyer and Sawyer from ABC News. Great stories well told. Day One returns Thursday at 10, 9 Central.
Rhodes Furniture just found a way to make the furniture you buy from us even more attractive. Come in right now and you'll save big on selected items throughout the store. Plus, no matter what you buy, you won't make any payments or pay any interest until 1996. That's right, not 95, 1996. It's the best financing deal we've ever offered. And while our brand name furniture was designed to last a long time, this offer wasn't. So you'd better hurry. Only at Rhodes.
Hello, I'm Fred Steelman. Christmas is over, but the cards are still coming in. This one was mailed the 26th. If you have some cards around the house you haven't mailed, you ought to mail them. It's never too late to do the thoughtful thing, regardless of what the thoughtful thing happens to be.
From all your friends at News Channel 9, season's greeting.
The final 15 minutes of the last college game of the year. Florida State leading Florida 23-10. And guess who's back for 3rd and 14? Danny Werfel. Thanks, Coach. As Presser now goes back over to the sideline.
They're going to rush 3 and cover with 8. That's a tough situation to throw into. Did a nice job of getting in here.
Manning's got the first down as he puts the ball in Hilliard's hands.
Did a real good job that time of throwing that with anticipation. If he throws that 1 second later, that's an interception. Great anticipation. Receiver coming from the right side of your screen. Sets up quickly. He's throwing it in rhythm. Bang! He throws it into the hole. He runs into the hole. Excellently done. Excellent.
So on 3rd and 14, Werfel returns 25 yards. Hilliard took a stinger on that shoulder, I believe. It is 1st and 10 inside the Noles 45-yard line. They show blitz. They hand it off to Williams, and they eat him up at the 45-yard line.
Well, Mickey Andrews said they were going to blitz a little bit more in this game, and he's been able to hit the right blitz against the right play about 3 times in this ball game. He blitzed right into that one.
Derek Brooks is the linebacker who relays the Call to his teammates on defense. Now Wuerffel and the Gators on 2nd and 11. Brooks is showing blitz, bluffing. Wuerffel hit from the backside by Alexander.
Derek Alexander came hard to the outside around Jason Odoms. The linebacker came up inside that might have froze Odoms just a little bit, but Derek Alexander got a hard outside rush to the outside. To the left side of your screen, you'll see Todd Riebel get picked up here, number 48. Boom! He goes right over, right on the ground, and then comes Derek Brooks around the outside. Good pass rush. Again, the quarterback was forced to hold on to the football. They have a lot of guys that can sack the quarterback. In fact, I think they came in with 16 different guys in this ballgame that had sacks.
3rd and 17. Down the middle to Doreen, who snaps it up and makes a great catch under pressure. That's his first catch of this game. He was doubled up, and he hung on. Watch the concentration here by Doreen at the 25.
All three Seminole players are talking to each other. They can't believe the guy caught the football, but it's an excellent throw. Same type of throw that he made before. Riebel tries to knock it out 48. But that actually, normally you think as a defensive coach, a ball thrown down the hole like that, you'd like to feel that your safety could pick it off.
26 yards on the gain, and that's a courageous play by Doreen. A lot of receivers short-arm that pass, baby. That's not easy against that kind of defensive pressure. 1st and 10 now. Those guys are worth whatever you give them. Oh, I guess this is not the NFL. 1st and 10 now. Wuerffel steps over to the left, fires, and it's Aubrey Hill who's inside the 20-yard line.
Boy, what a nice effort by Renard Wilson. Renard Wilson is a defensive lineman rushing the passer, rushes a passer, reverse pivots, come out there, and gets involved in tackling a pass receiver downfield. Boy, do they have these defensive linemen playing. Chuck Amato's got to be really proud of these guys. He coaches them.
Now Taylor re-enters the game. The Doreen play seemed to give this team a lift. Let's see if they can pay it off now against the Noles. Sean Nunn is in at one tight end spot. 2 wide receivers off to Wuerffel's right.
He's audibling right now. So is the defense changing now.
They run Taylor to the 18-yard line. Now, Dick, here comes a very, very big play. 3rd and 4 for Florida. They trail it by 13 points.
Well, they have been all year, such a good 3rd down conversion team. You wouldn't think it would be too tough to get the 4 to 5 yards. But in contrast, Florida State has been an excellent 3rd down conversion defense team. They've prevented people from doing it. It looks like they're going to crowd them and come after them.
They need to reach the 8-yard line for a 1st down. Wuerffel sacked way back at the 30-yard line by Todd Riebel.
They're not handling those inside rushes. That's the extra rusher. Normally, you'll slide your line toward that extra rusher. He's coming from the right, 48, middle of your screen, right up the A gap right there. Running back goes backside, nobody on him. They had the center covered right there. Protection scheme did not handle it, or they had a mental mistake. Not every protection is sound against every type of pass rush.
Dick, let me ask you this. 10:30 to go. It's 23 to 10. It's 4th and 13 back at the 27. Would you go for it?
I think I would, Brent.
End zone. Defended. Seminoles take over on downs. You don't get much when you go after number 2, Clifton Abraham. In fact, I thought the receiver on the inside was more wide open than the outside man that Wuerffel tried to pick up.
He was, and again, you asked me the question, I responded thinking in terms I would try to get the 1st down, not the touchdown.
Take a look at this play, and here is Abraham. Had the receiver Palmer, the young man who was running the pattern, and there was no way you were going to get the ball into him. Abraham showing you why he's one of the best in the business. Out of Dallas, Texas, number 2 does it again for the Noles.
It's the least we can do. It's last, but not least. It will give you a new lease on life. Introducing the Lexus ES Lease. For a limited time, just $1,500 down and $399 per month for 36 months. It's an offer of such extraordinary value, not even the worst lease cliches can demean it. Put a visit to your Lexus dealer on your lease of things to do. Sorry.
How much longer can he last on that battery?
You know, he just doesn't get it. Duracell batteries outlast all other brands. Hey, Larry, sometime today?
Larry Doty for the birdie.
Hooked it. That should cost him a stroke.
Herb.
Okay, I'll get him down.
Herb.
The Copper Top. Tops them all.
How you doing? Name's Red Dog. Red Dog. Now, I see a lot of you dogs out there yipping and yapping, chasing after anything that moves. Well, you know, sometimes you ought to lay low. And even when someone's trying to yank your chain, just let it ride. Red Dog. Be your own dog. So that when something good does come your way,
Red Dog beer. Bold yet smooth. Easy to drink.
you can make the most of it.
Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Pete Trevino, and Raymond Floyd. Golf doesn't get any better than this. The Senior Skins game begins January 28th on ABC.
On that last forced down pass, you'll see a one-on-one situation right here. Riddell Anthony, safety works away from him. He gets up into that seam. Werfel doesn't go to him. See, the safety worked away. He should have worked into that man. When Werfel came off the field, Spurrier went right to him and talked to him, said, hey, you made the wrong choice in reading that pattern.
Nice job on that play, number 2. Now on 1st and 10, Danny Cannell snaps off a completion. And now with the clock at 10:15, Bowden and the Noles are up 23-10. And now what they have to be thinking, let's get to work on this clock a little bit. We've got a 13-point lead, and let's see if we can bring it down underneath.
Well, see, that third quarter, they really ate up the clock. They win at a halftime. They were down by 3 minutes. At the end of the third quarter, they were up by 3 minutes. So they really gained about 6 minutes in time of possession, and that puts a lot of pressure on that defense.
Now, the Gators need a big play on defense. They need to come up with a turnover here on 1st and 10. Church closing in, and now Cannell starting to snap it off. It's an incomplete pass. Oh, he's played a fine game. Left early if you weren't with us. Got some stitches up there. And I think he received 3 first half of the ball game.
What's up, Niceville?
Now they're going to the no huddle here. See, they're going to really wear them down now.
As you might expect, we've had more passing yards tonight by these two teams than any two in the history of the Sugar Bowl here in New Orleans. Penalty flag is thrown.
They were running guys off the field, didn't get them all the way off. Mark Richt told me that they were going to go to a real fast no huddle once they had him on the ropes, and that's what he just tried to do that time.
Illegal substitution. Defense.
See, they caught him with that quicker setup. Defense didn't get off the field. Coach Bowden's getting involved in that play caller now.
So it is 2nd down. What's impressive about the Noles is the defensive job that they've done here tonight. Holding Florida to only 10 points. That's a remarkable effort. This is done. He battles his way for 3 more yards. The fewest number of points given up by Florida's, I should say the fewest numbers scored. They were given up by Vanderbilt and Alabama, 24. And right now, the Noles are holding the Gators to 10 points with 9.5 minutes to go. that would be the headline of this game. A lot of folks thought this game would go into the high 50s, even over 60. Remember, the first time they played, it was 31-31. Now Cannell. Down to the middle, he's got McCorvey. McCorvey, if he cuts left. Lawrence Wright brings him down at the 18-yard line, or he might have busted it for a Florida State touchdown. And now the Noles are in total command.
See, they rolled up double zone. Two deep safeties here, Brent. Rolled the corners up, and he worked right into the inside people. You see the deep safety here, the deep safety here, the corner rolled up, the corner rolled up, and they worked inside. Good read by the quarterback. See, they work right in where you have to, and it stopped in the zone. Got it. Now good running ability. Well, they knocked each other down there, but he gives a little shake, break, and off he goes.
29-yard gain for Florida State. There he swings it to Crockett, and the ball was delivered behind him, so it will be loss of down on the incompletion.
These teams just don't like the running game, do they? It's against the law down here.
He is searching to find something that
he had a meeting there on the bench a little while ago with his wide receivers.
Second down and 10. Cannell. Now, and Anton Lott had sealed up Ellison on the play.
You know what they did that time? They doubled the slot who made the big play a little while ago. Here he is right at the bottom of your screen. You can't see the outside receiver, but the coverage will take him outside and inside. Cannell wants to throw to him. He had success getting it to him. He read the coverage, no one to go to. Now he's flushed and he tries to go deep. Good change-up coverage call.
Well, now let's see what Cannell and the Noles come up with here on 3rd and 10. It's a big play for the Gator defense at the 8:48 mark. And Cannell with all kinds of time, high and incomplete. It's 4th down.
See, now that time they crowded the slot people, the wide receivers, and then backed them up with a free safety. That gives the corners and the man playing on the slot a little more confidence that they can crowd those receivers because they know they have help behind them. Good change-up coverage.
It's 23-10 at the 8:41 mark. It's 4th and 10, which may be too long for even Coach Bowden to think about a fake field goal. Maury's been red hot tonight, so they'll go right ahead with him on the 36-yarder, but no,
that's 2 in a row.
Misfires, and that leaves the Gators a golden opportunity. 8.5 minutes to go. It's 23-10. Florida's ball when we come back.
Gather up your ideas. Run with them. Where do you want to go today?
I can go from 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. I have a top track speed of 150 miles per hour. Yet I am very, very quiet. Who am I?
At this special time of year, The Century 21 family joins all families everywhere in a warm celebration of those special places in the heart we all call home.
On this day in sports history, baseball legend Brett Sooner got his 200th hit. For more historic moments, watch a whole new ball game next Monday here on ABC.
Wednesday night is special on ABC this week. First, 3 of TV's funniest ladies and 2 great hours of comedy. Roseanne, Grace Under Fire, another Roseanne, and Ellen. Then Primetime Live moves to Wednesday. All coming up here on ABC. 23-10, 8.5 minutes. This could be the decisive series as far as the Gators are concerned. Mobley and Williams are into that backfield. And Williams steps out to the right side to the 24-yard line. And Clifton Abraham, who has done it all on pass defense and run support, with the stop.
See, they forced him. They wanted to go up inside with that counter play, and they forced him to bounce it outside, and he was rolled up in his coverage, came right down, as you said, supported properly, got right there and made the play. Good football player. Corey Fuller, the other corner, is a fine player as well. 23 rush attempts, 8 yards. They're coming with 5, covering with 6.
Werfel to Jackson, and he drops it at the 45-yard line, so it will be 3rd down coming up.
Corey Fuller there in coverage. He had a real good game against him 5 weeks ago when we saw him, Brett. He had 1 touchdown he gave up, but boy, he knocked down a lot of plays too. They came with 5 and covered with 6, found the vacant zone right there, just couldn't come up with a catch.
Danny Werfel on the night with 309 yards. 1 touchdown, and that's the only touchdown the Gators have had. So this is 3rd and 5, just inside of 8 minutes. Even first downs are getting hard to come by for the Gators. Got one at the 34-yard line. Anthony.
See what they did that time? They went to a change-up coverage, Brent, because they've been throwing the ball down the middle on 3rd down conversion situations. They showed a deep safety right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch him sneak up inside and look for that inside breaking pattern. Good coverage call. See, he doesn't drop out of there. He's just waiting for him to come on that square end. He just hooked up. Instead,
the punishment, and that is not Danny Werfel who's down. The punishment that is being handed out to number 7 is starting to take a little bit of a toll. I believe that's the receiver, isn't it, who is still down? Danny Werfel, who was under enormous pressure when he snapped this very important pass off.
Well, he's been sacked 5 times already, Brent, so he's been taking a lot of hits, a lot of pressure.
And here's the young man who is still down, Rydell Anthony. So we'll take a break, and then we'll be right back.
Its space is limitless. Its silence is deafening. Its movements are graceful. Yet its power is undeniable. What is it?
You can't play in the Super Bowl, but Edge can get you closer than ever in the Edge Ultimate Super Bowl Instant Win Game. If you win, you and a friend will head to the sidelines with NFL Films on an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 29 in Miami. Just look for this ad in most Sunday papers January 15th for your chance to win instantly. The Edge Ultimate Super Bowl Instant Win Game. Ultimate closeness. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
Look, it's a gold card. Sure, no card on the planet is more useful, but it can't grant you inner peace. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could use it to go someplace where your only action would be one of non-action, which is pretty peaceful. And if you let Master Guest arrange your vacation, you'd save 20 to 40%, plus another $100 if you book by April 30th. And saving money might be the path of true wisdom. So I guess Gold MasterCard could help you see the light. Just remember to wear your sunscreen. Gold MasterCard, it's more than a gold card, it's smart money. Look for your Gold MasterCard application. and apply.
Rydell Anthony on the Gator bench after being shaken up following that reception. Danny Wuerffel going back to work. Elijah Williams is his running back, and we've still got 7:45 of unfinished business left here in New Orleans.
He's audibling against what he thinks is going to be a three-man rush. They
throws quickly to Doring, his second reception, out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
They're playing games with that defense right now, changing up, giving him a different look, showing like they're going to rush 3 and cover with 8. That time they took one of the linebackers and made it a 4-man rush and covered with 7. He audibled properly.
So now on 2nd and short, they need 2 yards. Wuerffel, short drop, then he's cut off. Now he throws to Doring, incomplete.
See what they're doing with this kind of coverage with the 3-down rushman, Brett, and covering with 8. They're taking their 2 inside linebackers and crowding the backs that they would lay the ball off to so they can't catch and run the football. Good defensive scheme. And another hit by Wuerffel. I don't know how many times he's been knocked down, but he's been pounded. Derek Alexander coming after him. And he gets rid of it, but down he goes, and that hurts.
Starts to add up, doesn't it?
You bet it does.
Anthony checks back in. He replaces Palmer. Doring is out now. Jackson, one of the wide receivers, along with Hill. Now it is 3rd and 2 for Wuerffel of the Gators. Run for the first down to the 46-yard line. Williams picks it up, and they'll move the chains at the 7:20 mark. Just the point I want to go back, Dick, not to really second-guess Coach Spurrier, but if he kicks the field goal or attempts it,
yes,
and it's sitting on 23-13, then he needs 1 field goal and a touchdown plus a go for 2. Now he's in a situation where he's still got to get 2 touchdowns, right? And it's at 7:15. That was the only thing, the point I wanted to make on that 4th down.
Yeah.
Now it's 7:10. Here now is the toss on the sweep to Williams. He's going to throw it to Jackson. Abraham wanted offensive interference. He said, I became a receiver.
You know, there's an example, though, of forgetting the other phase of the football game. If that kid just runs the football, he'll run it for 10 yards. You can't always gimmick and win. You'll see what I'm talking about right now. They toss him the football. They'll toss him right here, and he comes out, and he could have run the football. He's out there. The perimeter is knocked down. He's got a block. Freeze it right there. He's got a blocker to here. All he has to do to run. Now they got 2nd and 10. Come on, coach. Get a run of that game plan. The shot puts that one down there.
I got an interesting stat for you here. Let's watch 1st, 2nd, and 10. Now Wuerffel back incomplete. He had Doring open for a moment, and again Wuerffel hits the carpet. He is taking a pounding. The stat I've got for you. We've had six different players throw forward passes tonight.
6 different guys.
And only 3 quarterbacks. Look at this. That over 800 yards of offense in this game.
Florida State's doing a clever thing with the 2 inside linebackers with this 3 rush. You know how Florida likes to throw to that 1 back in the backfield out in the middle. They rush and make him stay in there with one of the backers.
They need 10 yards on this 3rd down. And Hill's got it plus. Hill to the 31-yard line. Gators are still alive. Hamlet's the defender.
These guys are never out. They can be behind, but they're never out. They put a little pressure on him. Todd Revel gets up on the back there. They tie him up. Then he comes back to the outside there, right up in between him, and he almost pops it in between those defensive backs.
Oh, how time flies. We're into the 2nd day. 1995 on the East Coast already. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. 23-10, Florida State. But the Gators are trying to mount a drive here. They have Marsh to Knowles, with Eric Kresser coming in at quarterback, throwing, oh, at the goal line. It was broken up by you-know-who, Sean Hamlet. So Wuerffel goes to the sideline, and they used Kresser for the bomb.
got the stronger arm, can throw the deeper pass a little more accurately. Hamlet does a nice job at his safety position. He actually should have picked that ball off. He went up for it to the ball at its highest point like he's coached to do. He just couldn't come down with it.
6:23. Second down and 10, and Werfel returns.
They go empty. They made a mistake on it.
And timeout is called. Oh,
look
baby.
at Spurrier. They went empty, put the back out. No one covered him. He was out there all by himself, Brent. And Spurrier says, I can't believe that.
Now let's see if they can't straighten this out. I don't think he wants a
No
timeout.
timeout. Replay the down.
Did he raise his hands to change the play to audible here, and the official thought he wanted the timeout?
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
audibly.
that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
He brought his hands up, and the official.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
that's
again,
good.
really, you go back with officials who haven't been around the audibling system of a couple of teams, and it makes a difference with the officials if they don't see these teams during the course of a season. You just ask the fellas in the NFL how much tape they look at. Talk about the different players they're going to see on a different Sunday. Now it's second down and 10. In trouble, gets it off, but it's behind Williams, and now it is third and 10 again.
See, Derek Alexander, Bernard Wilson, those guys, they are not getting slowed down. That was Boulware, 58. Three guys just pushing the offensive line back right into the quarterback's face. Either got to get rid of the ball quicker or set just a little bit deeper because he can't hold the ball that close to the line of scrimmage. I know how you feel, Steve.
Third down and 10. Now let's see if Werfel can find someone who can sit down for that first down at about the 21-yard line. Over the middle, grabbed by Doring for the first down. Where's he been?
He is one of those kids, you know, he was a walk-on, wasn't given a scholarship, worked his way up, got a scholarship, and all he does is make good plays. You know, really fine young man. Look at him, he's pleased with that play as well. Big play. That's a second critical third down conversion that Chris Doring has converted.
Talking it over with his quarterback.
See, the other thing that's happening with this drive is allowing the defensive team to be a little, you know, gain a little gas, you know, fill up their tanks a little bit so they can come back in the next period. This is the 13th play of the drive. And Nick Andrews, the defensive coordinator, is upset. He's now saying,
really
son,
getting into Brooks.
you know, I think you might have made a mistake on that.
Let's check in quickly with John Saunders. John?
All right, guys, thanks a lot, and welcome back to Bowl Day 95, presented by Wavy Lays. Nebraska, #1. Will they hold that? Likely. And Penn State continues to become the fourth time this has happened to them, where they've gone unbeaten and untied and not been #1. Take a look at the list in 1968 of teams that have done that, including Penn State, possibly the fourth time. Of course, some of these teams had no shot at the national championship, but 1994, will that be the charm for Joe Paterno? 12 and not been #1. Take a look at the list in 1968 of teams that have done that, including Penn State, possibly the fourth time. Of course, some of these teams had no shot at the national championship, but 1994, will that be the charm for Joe Paterno? 12-0 right now, and looking at being #2 at the end of the season. Right now, let's take it back to you guys at the Sugar Bowl.
John, thank you very much. Well, Joe Paterno, he's still won all the big ones, hasn't he? They can't take that away from him tonight, no matter what they vote. He's won the Rose, he's won here in New Orleans, he's won the Orange, he's won the Cotton Bowl. Heck of a coach. They had a great season. They won the Big Ten in only their second year. They brought some excitement into that league, and so be it.
And they're going to be a heck of a football team next year.
You bet. And congratulations to Tom Osborne, too. First down and 10 now, and they go empty again, taking Williams out of that backfield. And now Werfel changing up at that line. This
looks like blitz up inside. Yeah, they're coming.
There was 3 seconds left on the clock, so it wasn't that. There's some movement, Reggie.
That's an old Harvard expression, isn't it?
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
Reggie, you just made it 1st and 15 for Coach, and he's not a bit happy, and you can't blame him.
Well, plus he saw what coverage he was going to get man-to-man. If they pick up that blitz, they've got receivers spread all over the field, one-on-one situations. He liked what he saw, if he can get it off.
Now the 3 wides are over to the left.
Now watch him change up and go zone.
Full to the middle. Jackson slashes to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Florida. A 20-yard gain.
See, they had 3 men at the top of the formation, Brent. They rolled the coverage over there. The big thing he did is he bought some time and allowed the pattern to develop. 3 receivers to the left side of your screen, up on top. 3 defenders backed up by a safety. See the safety working in there like that. Now he just reverse pivots and walks out. That's not a design pattern. That's a maneuver made by an alert wide receiver, Jack Jackson.
That's his first catch this half. 20-yard gain overall, 6 for 128. Now 1st and goal. Gators will try to get it in as quickly as they can. And there Williams is hit at the 3-yard line. Looked like he had daylight. Derek Brooks shut the door in a hurry.
Boy, Derek Brooks has really played well. We've called his name a number of times, Brent. He's made a lot of plays.
You'd play well, too, if the coach got all over you like he did there on that sideline.
You know, I talked with Derek Brooks yesterday about it, and he wants to go to law school. And I bet you the law professors won't talk to him like that. Says he ultimately wants to be a judge. That's Derek Brooks. Outstanding student.
He's handing out some sentences here tonight. It is down in goal now. Williams is the running back. 3 wides are to Werfel's right. Sometimes they like the slant in here. They're going to go one-on-one. They're trying to get Dorian stopped off, but there's a flag down. Hold on. Hold on. There are flags coming. Dorian, the intended receiver, and they were working against Corey Fuller. Let's see how they sort it out.
Yeah, they called it pass interference. There was contact, but you couldn't tell how it was going.
We got another flag. We've got another flag just came down. A second one is going against the Seminoles right now.
Pass interference. Defense in the end zone. Ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. Then we have a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
This will move the ball all the way to the 1-yard line. Let's take a look at it.
At the top of your screen, Corey Fuller, number 4, shoving him right there.
Dick, I thought he shoved on him.
Shoved early, but not late.
Does early count?
Yeah, I think so, but they didn't throw it at that time.
1st and goal from the 1. Williams up over the top. No signal.
Come on, get the play off.
Yeah, he says, come on, get the play off. Get lined up, you're wasting time.
Sam Cowart coming in underneath in the goal line defense. And here comes the 16th play. The time becoming important now at 4:30. Danny Werfel slams across, but still no touchdown. And Dorian comes in from Spurrier's sideline with the play. Jackson leaves.
16-play drive, 79 yards, 4 minutes, 20 seconds, and the defense will be rested.
This has been a great defensive performance here tonight by the Seminoles, and they are not giving up this final yard on this drive easily. It has come to 3rd and goal now for Werfel over the top again. Fumble! Touchdown is signaled. Hold it. There's a touchdown signal. Hold on.
All he has to do is break the plane.
He broke the plane. The Noles are livid. There's a penalty flag having been thrown on the field at Corey Fuller. Touchdown is called. The Gators have scored.
ejected Corey Fuller.
Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of garbage and debris raining down from the stands.
Defense.
They're swinging gate.
15-yard penalty of the assist on the kickoff.
Woo! A big penalty on the kickoff.
Big major hit. They're in the swinging gate, Brent.
Let's first watch the swinging gate.
They should, yeah, they're going to kick it.
And Davis hammers the extra point. It's 23. Now, Dick, take a look as he extends the ball. Did he break the plane before it was knocked free? You help us sort this out now.
There he is. It's in there.
That's a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen.
All it has to do is get over that line. Here's Corey Fuller.
And then Fuller with what could turn out to be a huge mistake. We'll be right back.
A week of scout camp. How hard could it be? Yeah.
I'm your new troop leader. We're going to chop wood and dig a ditch from here to there. Any questions?
Bet you can't eat just one.
Kid, I once went an entire week without breathing.
New Wavy Lay's Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. Bet you can't eat just one.
Keeper!
Hidden Valley's a special ranch. Wavy Lay's are special potato chips.
Hundreds of natural forces may affect the survival of your business. And hundreds of companies may say they are as good as AT&T. But only AT&T guarantees that if your long-distance service ever goes down, it'll be back in minutes, not hours. Only our network gives every call a choice of up to 134 routes, so your calls get through, even when you can't.
Hi, I heard the phones were down out there.
Not mine.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
Your legs are stretched far in front of you. An iced tea is nearby. Vivaldi begins to play, yet you feel a rush of adrenaline. Where are you?
The tale of two sidelines. That's one set of emotions. Now travel with us across the field and watch the other set.
This side is more fun.
3:47 to go. And now remember, there was a 15-yard penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct. And so the ball is being brought up now to midfield.
You know, I think, Brent, I would punt the ball here and not kick it off. I would have a better chance of getting it high up in the air and drop it in there.
I have another question for you. Would you at all try or bluff an onside kick? Now, the Noles are calling timeout.
How come you ask me these tough questions?
Well, let me tell you something. Whether or not they were thinking about it, they did force Florida State to call a timeout. As soon as they saw Shane Edge set the ball at the angle and walk to that side, they did not have the good hands people on the field, and immediately the Noles called timeout.
Right, but
caused them to use one.
Right, but personally what I would do, I would punt the ball and try to drop it in there. You onside kick it and don't get it. The odds aren't real good, though. Lately, we've been seeing people get them. You're going to have them back in the hole, play real good defense. Your defense has been off the field for a long time. It's the first time they've had a chance. They should be excited and come out and get after them.
Now, here's the situation that developed at midfield. This is Shane Edge. That tee, incidentally, is 2 inches, 1 inch longer than the ones they're using in the NFL. You see, he sat it down like that. Made absolutely sure that he's watching. He is absolutely trying to get a timeout called. There was no question. They have left Florida State with 1 timeout, and Florida has 2. Coach Zook runs the special teams for the Gators.
special teams at Florida have been outstanding all year. Florida State's have been good today.
Now they send Warwick Dunn into the game as the return man here. So he's on the field for Coach Bowden.
He's going to kick a squib ball, it looks like, Brett.
He's got it down now, and the special team deploys.
You never know what Coach Spurrier's going to do, but he's going to onside it.
Just one man. You want to get in a foot race if you can and just get it up high and get down. They're going to onside it. It's free ball.
Out of bounds.
Oh,
he touched it out of bounds.
And it goes to Florida State.
Geez, I just don't agree with that at all. Maybe I'm dumb.
No, Coach, you say bury him back in the home plate defense.
You're putting the ball from the 50-yard line.
You got 3:47.
You got 3:47. Your defense is fresh. They have one timeout left.
I agree with you.
God, first time this year. Son of a gun. It was.
They're spotting the ball regardless at the 39-yard line, and it'll be first down now. And can the Noles kill the clock? They'll use the shotgun. They lead it, remember, by 6 points, 23-17. Florida desperate to get the ball back one last time. And Cannell deep down the left side. Incomplete. He had Philip Riley, the burner, working deep.
Riley is a burner. He's an ACC hurdle champion in college, both indoor and outdoor. He can fly. Great extension for the ball. He's on lot number 9 to the right side there. Almost. You know, the only thing is you only used up a couple seconds. These guys sort of defy the normal principles, don't they?
It's not your usual
it's not
football game when these two teams hook up.
Hey, there's a live animal in here.
Wait, does Jack Arute know that they... All right, 7 seconds used up on that play. 3:40 to go. 2nd and 10. Cannell comes up as a T-formation quarterback. They're going to throw it again. From the right side. And there's the call. Automatic first down on the pass interference call. Fred Weary.
Wow. You know, wouldn't you try to run the ball a little bit? Huh? Like you said, they just don't. When these two teams play, they do things differently. That's all there is to it.
It's just fun watching them play because it's so different. You never know what to expect.
Pass interference, defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
Fred Weary, number 24, just charged that ball really early. It was obvious.
Isn't it nice? We don't have to worry about all those big issues about like who's number 1. Should we have none of that stuff? Let's just play a football game and enjoy it. Maybe they can meet again, well, like next week.
Yeah, play in spring practice or something like that.
3:30 to go now. Danny Cannell with a first down in Gator territory. Now it's Crockett for a yard at most.
Henry McMillan, Brent, we haven't called his name many times tonight, a couple times. Good, solid football player. Missed part of the year, early season with an injury.
Dick, is the swing pass to Dunn a low risk or a high risk play at this time, late in the game?
Low risk. It's a low risk. You swing in it. Though you would anticipate defensive teams crowding those high percentage shorter throws because they need the ball back. They've got to take some chances and crowd those kind of things. But it would be a completed pass.
Now to the T formation. And they will run Dunn from scrimmage, and a great stop by Henry McMillan.
Active young man.
That sets up 3rd and 10. What a big play for the Noles and the Gators right now. ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl is brought to you by Lexus, maker of the faster and roomier 1995 LS 400. Hidden Valley Ranch flavor Wavy Lays. Bet you can't eat just one. Microsoft, the leader in software. Where do you want to go today? And MasterCard. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It is smart money. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara, and the coordinating producer of ABC's college football is Bob Goodrich. The associate coordinating producer, Jim Ressler. Today's game was produced by Kim Belton, directed by Bill Webb. Our TD, Rich Gelbert. Our associate director, Patrick McManus. Our production manager, Harriet Huckberg. Technical operations manager, Les Weiss. Assistants to the producer, Rika Lobby and Brian Hansen, have been with us all year. Our stats guy, George Hill. Our spotter, Jimmy Tubbs. They're the best. Down on the computer stats, Brian Mobilson. Our sideline coordinator, Mel Hundley. What a great job this crew has done. It's really been a pleasure being with them, and all the various cameramen and camera women that we have worked with this year at ABC Sports. It certainly has been a pleasure not only working with you, but watching all of your work. A fine job here in New Orleans, and we certainly hope that you enjoy the work that these folks send into your living room or wherever you might be watching. We have 2:41 left, a very entertaining night in New Orleans. Danny Cannell and the Noles lead at 23-17. It's 3rd and 10. Now it is 4th and 10, and the Noles will have to punt.
See, now let's assume that they played that same defensive series after kicking the ball off, Brent, and they'd be down here kicking from maybe their own 20-yard line. Florida would have much better field position than they would have right now if they had not tried that onside kick. So you've got 2 minutes and 34 seconds left. In a Spurrier-type offense, that's a lot of time. His average scoring drives are better than that.
Now it'll be Palmer going back deep. Sean Liss is the punter. They got pressure up the middle, but they couldn't get to him. Palmer signals for the fair catch, and he makes the catch at the 19-yard line. 2:27 left for Steve Spurrier and the Gators. Folks, for the Gators and Spurrier, that's an eternity.
He came into this ball game with 23 scoring drives of 5 plays or less. We both have seen him do it, Brent. The other thing that they wore down Florida State defense a little bit. What the one good thing I think Florida State has done tonight, many good things, is they've rotated that defensive line in there, and they should not be tired.
A great season in college football comes down to the last 2:27. The Gators trailing it, and Wuerffel fires over the middle to Taylor, the running back, and Taylor is out to the 31, and that's a first down, Florida.
See, now they went to zone, 4-man line. They don't have those 2 linebackers inside the bracket, that check down back. You watch, they'll change up again. They can't continue to give a running back that kind of a play.
They send Jackson and Anthony out to the left. Doring and Hill down here to the right for the Gators.
Looks like man coverage, and they're coming after him.
Woods got him at the 19-yard line. He is taken down by Riebel, who's had a whale of a day defensively.
You should be able to pick that up. When you're spread out all over the field, you only have one back that can block, but I think they only rushed 5 people. It'll be coming from your left. Derek Brooks, number 10, doesn't come. Here comes Riebel. See, they were sliding away, 48. That's the second time he's gotten in. Scott Clean.
An 8-yard loss. Make it 2nd and 18 for Wuerffel and the Gators. Time ticking
coming
away.
again.
Intercepted by Derek Brooks, and that should seal it up.
Their great All-American linebacker. Who should make the big play but their fine player? One of the outstanding student athletes in college football right there, Derek Brooks. Same blitz again, 48 right side of your screen right here. Here he comes. They don't pick him up. See, protection sliding away. They've got to move to center and guard to the left. They don't do it. Sack.
The first interception in this game, 84 passes thrown by these two teams, and with 1:32 to go, an interception. And now the Seminoles with a 6-point lead and a chance to wrap it up.
Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator who calls the defenses, use that same blitz twice in a row, get sacks with it. Sometimes you're a little afraid to come twice in a row with the same thing. He was not. It was effective.
Danny Kanell kneeling down, time running away. You know, there's one thing here as they let the seconds tick off the clock. Will I have a moment? And I'm not going to ask my partner, Dick Vermeil, a question because I can answer it as well as he can, and that's the fact this well could be the last time I work with Dick. I have no idea if that's going to be the case or not. At ABC Sports, I certainly hope that Dick Vermeil comes back. But Dick, on behalf of all of us, if you do elect to go back to the NFL, I think you're going to do a terrific job. If you and Carol decide that's what you want to do, we're behind you all the way, partner. I think the Eagles will be making one of the great decisions if they bring you back. Selfishly, I'd love to have you in the booth with me. I haven't enjoyed anything in much of my life as I have covering football with you. You've been a class act, my man.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
And now we go down for the final 32 seconds of what has been a whale of a football game and the end of just a sensational season in college football. The Noles are going to be celebrating tonight. Next year they go to Gainesville and it might be the other side celebrating. It's one of those great rivalries. Now the clock operator up here is having some difficulty with the clock. The crowd is going to count it down. And there it is. Bobby Bowden. And I don't believe that this game is over. I don't think. Let's see if we get official confirmation. One of the officials waving his arms down there on the field. And Bobby's getting an explanation that this game is not over, and some of the Noles had dashed all the way to the entrance to their locker room. As a matter of fact, they're going to put 46. This series and this college season has been so exciting, folks, they're not going to let it in.
Guys, I was standing right next to Coach Bobby Bowden when he was informed about the 46 seconds remaining. He took it very calmly, and the thing he said is, you're going to have to help me get these people off the field because everybody else thinks it's over.
Well, if anybody can get him off the field in Florida, that man can.
Is it deja vu?
Off the field. He just raised his hands, both hands up. What a fine, fine man.
Not over.
You know, one thing that you've got to keep in mind with that time situation, doesn't this mean that they'll have to snap the ball on 4th down?
Florida doesn't have any timeouts, so you can just run the clock out. You can just run the clock out.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
They used their last timeout.
James Colsey right there. Hey, look at the coach comes and get his guy. That's an offensive line coach right there. He's a big, physical, strong guy. He's not going to let him go over there. That's Odell Haggins. He's hit a few people with a helmet on in his time.
So now the clock that Kanell is watching is down to 10 seconds. Yeah, he'll flop down, and now they'll. The 46 seconds, though, did not start to move at all.
No, the clock is not working.
Well, now.
You're right. They don't want the season to end.
Well, it's just been too good. So many wonderful moments, though, we have seen with not only these fellas, but Tom Osborne. How about the class that he has shown the college game over the years?
Oh, you bet.
Is anybody more deserving of an undefeated season in consideration of #1, or Joe Paterno coming into the Big Ten?
If you
helped that conference out a lot, I think, added a lot of luster, takes them out into the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, wins it, second year in the Big Ten, and Now the Seminoles are saying, well, it's all over. Florida State has won it 23-17. It's a shame that the officiating crew didn't have as good a night as these two teams did. We wrap it up here. The USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl. And down we go to Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
He's looking for Steve Spurrier. We watch, he's going to find his way to Spurrier. And, guys, this will be a handshake that'll be meaningful.
Yeah, it certainly will, Jack.
Good luck to you.
Coach, another real one that'll give you a heart attack. Did you think it'd get that close?
Well, if we could kick better, we wouldn't be having this problem. I can't believe it, but I should be happy because we won.
Does that mean you're going to have to go recruit?